step back. I'm mad that when I come down straight, I thought you were my beast, but you played me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, and you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Live from Trenton. It's the sativacross.com podcast. We're still setting up. Whew. This is going to be a hell of a group today. We have my old union here. UA is here. I was on campus and help us today. We have about 1,000 people from the CWA coming to help protest cannabis laws in New Jersey. Good thing. Sorry, Jim. There you go. So, Jim, it was a very interesting weekend for me, a week. Angela McKnight just lost her incumbency and won in about 1 hour.
What's going on in about an hour?
In about an hour, she watched her whole career fall apart in front of her, as Michelle tried to get into her office with a wheelchair. Now,
where's her office?
In Jersey City, Angela McKnight, our assemblywoman, has an office in Jersey City that has no access to disabled people. And this woman is a phony, a fake phony fraud, because she's on the Health and Senior Services Committee.
Okay, so to recap so far, an assemblywoman on the Health and Senior Services Committee has an office where seniors and others who need assistance getting around cannot make it into her office.
No.
So what was her accommodations? No, I'm just saying one time Senator Sam Thompson, the man we scolded for smoking a cigarette where you're not allowed, he had an office as an assemblyman that was not accessible by wheelchair. So he made arrangements to meet with Cheryl and me at somebody else's office where there was accessibility. So my point is, while not being able to get in, could you have gotten an appointment for a meeting somewhere else with her at another time?
But sure we could have, but I just want to talk to her then and there and now. I mean, it was like.
Well, yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
But what did you come away with?
Well,
You came away with everything you would have still come away with, plus a meeting.
She wanted to call ambulance to help me get in,
Yeah.
and that was just foolish. I mean,
Well, that's a waste of services on the ambulance's part. Who's going to pay for her?
well, the thing is, she wasn't going to pay for it, and I certainly wasn't going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty pointless. I mean, but I wasn't going to let the ambulance show up, so I wasn't going to do it.
So, but all I'm saying is, and this is the activist in me that's been doing this a long time, and I'm not being critical. I'm just saying that, first of all, what you did got so much. I mean, that's so much fodder for the future. It's, you know, the little snips you can get out of the footage that's
exactly.
available. So, an incredible resource. But to also say, well, I'm going to need to talk to you in person on the record. Where can you make arrangements to have an office? And I'll see if it fits into my schedule. You know, kind of forcing the issue further because she won't want to do it. But at this point, she'd have to.
I asked her if she's going to be in the State House because I'm there on Thursday,
Yeah.
and she said no, she's not. So,
She's not.
no. I don't understand what her job is. I don't know exactly how they work.
Well,
but
I
she
was
said
under the impression she was on the Health and Senior Services Committee and that they were meeting here, perhaps today.
Oh, I asked her. I said, Thursday I'll be at the State House. Are you going to be there? She said, no, I'm not going to be at the State House. So maybe she's not here today.
I can't split my attention and bring this up while we're chatting, as I see so many people able to do. But there are schedules posted on the legislative website.
Well, maybe she's going on vacation. I don't know. She said she wasn't going to be here to meet
Well,
with
there's
me.
another possibility.
Yeah.
She lied.
Yeah.
No, I'm just putting it up
I
as
wasn't going to say it. I'm
as
glad you did.
not an accusation. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
You have to look at it from one side to the other, and it's never black or white, odd or even. There's always something else.
Yeah.
You know, penny, it's going to be odd or even unless it lands on the edge or unless it leans on something, unless a million things, you know. Well, okay, at least 6 or 7, if not a million. So, you know, just trying to figure it out. You have a good foot in the door, and I think, you know, we can definitely make some ways with that.
I mean, if she's here today, it'd be a shame if she lied to me.
Do we have a microphone for
Yes,
Scott?
right here, Scott. Scott, did you watch our video? Did you watch us destroy Angela McKnight? We destroyed her.
I saw some of the video, yes.
It was amazing.
I didn't see, I think at the time that I stopped watching, because I forget where I was.
It got sad after a while, just
Well,
watching her career
it
just
was-
go.
It was real, well, it was really interesting to see, like, it was very well done, very well staged, very well, you know, you guys did everything live. So the call was live, the radio was live, all those things were live. That was solid.
And, you know, for anybody who might be watching or listening to know that we're talking with Scott as a former assemblyman, Republican, and now I get everybody mixed up with their
Sure.
endeavors. I don't want to say it wrong.
No, I appreciate it. I'm Scott Rutter. I'm the president of the New Jersey Cannabis Business Association.
Cannabis Business
Yes,
Association.
yes.
You know, I'll say it a little
The
bit
very
wrong. It'll be
first
somebody
trade
else's.
association to represent the cannabis industry
Yeah.
in New Jersey.
So I say that only in as much as while everybody's opinion counts, I would count yours for a little more, seeing this from both sides of the fence. And also for being, along with Mike Alonzo, running as a Republican for Assembly. There are Republicans who are putting some
100%.
you know, who are making it harder to say, you know, if a few more start really being realistic as when they get a chance to be or decide to be, I'd love to be able to not say it's a Republican Democrat issue anymore.
Well, it clearly is not. I mean, you know, even as we're trying
Well,
to.
by the votes, the roll call votes would say otherwise, but explain what you're saying,
Okay,
because
sure.
I agree with you.
No, I would say historically, absolutely, myself included, as a Republican, right? So, you know, as I mentioned before, in 2009, when it came down to passing the medical marijuana law in New Jersey, I wasn't there yet. A lot of the facts and statistics and everything else we've learned since then, you know, pushed me there in 2013 when I'm meeting with Megan Wilson, talking to her about her daughter Vivian,
That'll do it, won't
and
it?
learning about Gervais syndrome, and then you say to yourself, well, who the freak am I as an elected official? Hold on one second.
Another fan driving by. They do support. They wave.
But yeah, that kind of brought me when you talk to a mother of a daughter who has 300 seizures a day, you just ask yourself, who am I as an elected official to tell this mother and her doctor what's best for her child?
Or that you need more
Thank you.
science.
Yeah, we need more science to
You
prove.
know?
No, I'm sorry, I can see the science working when I provide my daughter CBD.
Yeah.
You know, those are the types of things that I think sort of separate out. And I want to tell you about, as the siren goes by again, I just posted this today. There is a, hold on, more activity. Lucky, I think you need to run.
It is a canyon of sound here.
Trenton struggles. We had this problem in Jersey City yesterday with Angela McKnight's office. Lots of sirens over there. Yeah. Crazy.
All right, so today, New Jersey Cannabis Association, we have a Facebook page, and every day I search for some relevant article or something like that to post, something to talk about, something that's germane to whatever the topic of the day is within the world of cannabis. And there's this guy, and I posted it today, but he's a congressman, a conservative Republican from South Florida, represents the 1st District. His name, and I never heard of him before, but his name is Matt Gaetz, Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, congressman, and he has a phenomenal speech.
Really?
Not a speech, but he's in the Senate the House Judiciary Committee, and he's talking about how ridiculous it is that we have a majority of the states who have legalized cannabis for medical reasons, and the federal government has decided that nope, there's no medical value whatsoever.
He said this
in a committee hearing,
an actual
in Washington D.C. with regard to medical marijuana specifically, and he was just saying how ridiculous it is, and then you get into the facts. We've all talked about this before, but what I find just so incredibly insulting through this entire process is you learn that there's 91 people today are going to die from an opioid overdose, right?
Yep.
And that there's no recognition of scientific value of medical marijuana unless the FDA says so. And yet the FDA gets billions of dollars, not millions, but billions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry. So the pharmaceutical industry gives the FDA billions of dollars, and the FDA, for some magical reason, decides that there's no medical value associated with cannabis. Yet 91 people today will die from an FDA-approved, pharmaceutically manufactured synthetic opioid.
Yeah.
And that's somehow okay. That's somehow all right. And
well,
so with this congressman...
We're doing all we can to combat
Oh,
that,
yeah,
Scott.
yeah. Well, it must be your fault as the individual for overdosing on my highly addictive opioid that the doctor prescribed, right?
Yeah.
So what we're saying is, and whether it's my association, others, the coalition, is that let's allow this to happen at the federal level. Let's get past all this. If you want to hold off at the federal level on certain aspects of it, fine. I don't think it's fine, but fine. But break through that point where and acknowledge the medical value so real research can continue.
It's in the wake of the Schedule I status of cannabis being upheld recently. That just blows me away. What you're saying about this goes hand in hand with what I'm really uptight about here in New Jersey right now, and that's our head of Commissioner of Health, Kathleen Bennett, starting the 6-month time frame in which she gets to say yes or no to the recommendations of the Medical Marijuana Advisory Panel. The panel of experts she had something to do with. The panel of doctors, psychiatrists, anesthesiologists, nurses, across the board,
medical
representation,
right.
And when they come up with 5-to-1 votes on recommendations that they need to add certain recommendations, one of them being chronic pain, neuropathic pain. This is the one where the
Anxiety.
American Medical Association says that with cannabis in states before New Jersey, they had a 25% reduction in the overdose death rate due to opioids, both legal and illegal. So it's not like New Jersey necessarily will follow suit, although all 13 states had a reduction that averaged 25%, with all the states having a reduction.
Right.
So statistically speaking, she can say okay immediately, or she can wait 6 months. She's not going to do any work. She's got her mind made up. It's an accusation. I can't prove it. But I'm guessing there's not going to be a lot of work done on her part to clarify anything, to come to a decision for these people who will overdose without help. So statistically speaking, it may be complicit in around 60 overdose deaths that might not have happened down the road if she did it now, compared to 6 months from now. It's just so what? Okay, it's not 60, Jim. It's only going to be 23.
Whatever it is, right? I mean,
right.
You know,
let's argue the numbers.
People,
you know, I don't care.
People want the alternative. People want that option. Right now, where you are requiring medical professionals to sign up and to register to become a medical marijuana doctor, that's ridiculous. Those are the types of things that need to go away. A medical professional should not have to have a separate registry, should not have to pay extra amount to follow what we understand the science to be.
Yeah.
For example, you have a severe accident, major surgery, whatever.
Yeah.
You probably, if it's something that significant, for the first period of a week or so, a narcotic, an opioid may be the best option for you. Initially, right?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
I'm saying, not you particularly,
No,
but initially,
I have
after
the
surgery,
experience, sure.
Something like that is possible that you would need that, right? So let's agree to that. After that, whatever it is, 3 days, 5 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, you should have the option, and the doctor should have the ability to just prescribe medical cannabis as a segue off of the opioid. You don't need years of opioids.
We have the law on the books that if this was specific to whether it be actually a new statute or an addition, an amendment, to an existing one, that would be exactly what's needed, because this is what they're saying, everybody nationally, at a state level, this is what's needed. At that point, doctors are now in a position of saying, no, I'm not going to raise your dosage because I'm being monitored correctly, and I am not able to do it under guidelines that I practice under. Now, what the health department is telling us is, they're telling us this is when people seek black market relief, and it starts out, you think you can't buy Percocets on the black market, they can buy the exact same diverted drugs.
Correct.
That are the same exact drugs they were purchasing, not bootleg. The actual product, it's about 3 to 4 to 5 times as much. It might be $15 or $20 for a pill that you would get for $4 otherwise, give or take. And then when they find out that they can't afford their pain relief because that keeps escalating, they find out heroin's about 1/3 the price, and they go there. Boom, that's the story. Okay, if they want to feed that to me and have reachnewjersey.com, if you're in trouble, how dare they not mention this even? Where is that reachnewjersey.com saying, oh, by the way, we'd like this to happen, it will help. So there are people running from a partial solution, a part of a solution, and I can't say it's just disingenuous on the part of the state to not be mentioning that. And quite frankly, I think a lot of our friends in the legislature aren't doing enough to say what I'm saying. Why should I be the one trying to cajole Kathleen Bennett, Commissioner Bennett, into making a decision sooner rather than later? Why should I be using not threats but promises of we will show up and it's on you, and it will follow you? That's what we do. I don't want to do that. It's her job. She should just do it. But there are also people in the legislature who would like to see this happen and say, listen, do we have to make a law? Can't you just do this?
We should just be able to do it. In fact, we have a law. And if we were following the law as currently written, this would already be done. I think this is a conscious decision to not allow these new conditions to be applied to the medical marijuana program until Governor Christie leaves office. Yeah. So I don't hold any particular individual at fault other than the top. It really goes all the way to the top. And if the top says this is not going to happen, then all the subordinates underneath won't make that happen.
Well, we've seen that happen with the adverse effects to the program. I don't want the regulations to allow people with headaches. And the justification, I swear to God, the quote, unless it's the fake news, but the quote was that Governor Christie said that he didn't want people flying into Newark, faking a headache and getting medical marijuana and then flying home. What is the color of the sky in his world?
Well, aside from the fact that you actually need to be a New Jersey resident, show proof of residency.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. I mean,
if you really,
exactly.
the governor also said that legalizing cannabis in New Jersey is the equivalent of blood money, right? I mean,
yeah.
And yet, yet, you know,
And then he taxed it, 7% sales tax. A new tax, I might add, a brand new tax.
yeah, no other medicine is taxed.
Well,
Exactly.
that's semantics of the state constitution. No other prescription drug or over-the-counter medication is taxed. This is not a prescription. It's recommended, and it's not over-the-counter.
Yeah.
So, we may tax it, so they do. That's just because you can tax it, according to the constitution.
I think, and
That's blood money.
100%. And the blood money is the FDA-approved opioids that are manufactured by pharmaceutical
blood
companies
money. Yes.
that kill 33,000 people a year. Kills 33,000 people a year. And from 9/11 to all the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, they do not equal 33,000 people through the past 17 years. And yet that's exactly what we're doing right now every year. And that's the kind of thing that we have to see change. And I don't know that we're going to see a lot of change, you know, whether Commissioner Bennett does something, but as long as Governor Christie's there, I think what we have to start to do, and we've been doing, and you guys have all been doing, is we got to push forward this message and make sure we're getting it into the campaign discussion going into November, making sure that people that are running for office appreciate. I know you're doing a lot of stuff, Luck. You know, we have to get out there. We have to get the message that this needs to be a campaign topic. This needs to be on the top of people's minds as we're going to vote and elect people to office. It's not the only issue out there. There are other issues for people to be concerned about, but this is one of those simple issues that if you just use science, and the science will bear it out. There's no reason that the governments of Canada, Germany, Israel, Mexico, Spain, the Netherlands, so forth and so on, all agree that there's medical value, yet our FDA that receives billions of dollars from pharmaceutical companies somehow cannot see that. That's offensive.
What's offensive to me is politicians who are ignorant, like Angela McKnight. Do you know her personally? Did you ever meet her?
No.
I mean, she's dumb as a rock. I can't believe what she did to you, Michelle. Victimized you as an MS patient, dying in a wheelchair. They wouldn't let you into her office. Isn't there a law that says you have to allow people into your office as a government? It's a government office.
Right.
Give me a break, really? Is there a violation there?
Oh, absolutely.
Should she be fined, or?
Well, I'm not going to get too far into that one particular.
Okay, should she resign from the Health and Senior Services Committee at this point?
Lucky I don't go into those levels of discussions. Lefty, sorry. Lefty.
You don't really? Because it's shocking to me. I know you're being diplomatic, but I'm telling you, I'm shocked.
My role is to be diplomatic.
I'm shocked.
My role is not to go after a specific person.
I'm shocked. Well, me and Mike Alonso are going to go after her because she's ignorant and she's actually hurting people in wheelchairs in Bayonne and Jersey City. Michelle was crying, literally crying, and I'm sorry that you have to go through this, Michelle.
It's everywhere you go in Bayonne and Jersey City. You just can't get in there with a wheelchair. So if you have a wheelchair, there's no way in hell you're getting in any of these buildings. So the newer buildings, which are not many buildings that are new.
There should be a law.
There should be a law. There should be something. At least maybe she'll have a ramp now if we go back.
We're going to tie a
Just
wheelchair.
saying.
No, we're going to take a wheelchair and tie it to the tree around her office. And oh, she's in for it, man. Scott, she's in for it. She's going down. I'm sorry she's her friend. I'm sorry anybody who likes her because nobody really likes this woman. I'm telling you, nobody likes her. She's a phony. She votes yes on everything like a puppet. The thing she doesn't like, she just votes. She votes abstains. She looked like a deer in the headlights. I was threatened by one of her staffers. One of her staffers told me to get the F out of my face. This is the government we want? That's our representation? I was threatened by her staff.
Yeah.
Get the F out of my face? Really? That's what I want from my government? And then we said, okay, Michelle, come on in the office. Angela McKnight's like, come on, Michelle, come on in the office. And Michelle's like, in the wheelchair, looking at her. It didn't connect. Like it didn't work. Something wasn't connecting in her brain that she couldn't get into the office with a wheelchair and a step. That's not a step to you, that's a wall for you.
Yeah, that really is, and I don't believe she just didn't get that part. I mean, what do I have to do, sit there and show her? I mean, keep bumping into her door?
Did you see her shrug her shoulders?
Yeah, she did a lot.
She was like this. I don't know. So I slowed it down. I don't know. It's like a great political video. You guys need to hire me. McKnight needs to hire me, but it's too late now. I told her I'd take 10 grand to say screw Mike Alonso, but I didn't get that bag yet.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that bag of money in my mailbox. I got the white mailbox on top. Put it right there.
Not happening.
Hudson County Republicans are crazy. I don't know, man. They might hire me. How do we get support for Mike? I mean, he's obviously kicking ass. How do we get support for him?
All right. So here's what I don't do. Right. So just so we clarify, because as the president of the trade association, I do not necessarily I don't endorse or.
All right, stop
I
winking. You're winking at me.
cannot-
Stop
well,
winking.
not really winking, but
Okay.
you see me
I saw
or
you
hear
wink.
me winking, but I'm not winking. You may hear it in my voice.
Okay, yeah.
But I actually cannot do, and I don't endorse a specific candidate or anything like that. I do talk about the issue, and I do talk about how people feel about the issue, issue of cannabis specifically.
Yes.
So if somebody is opposed to something, like for example, I do differentiate between like Lieutenant Governor Kim Guadagno, who's a dear friend, and I also differentiate between Ambassador Phil Murphy, who is a person I'm getting to know very well as well.
Okay.
And we understand that they both see something that's we see next year, no matter who wins, for example, that there'll be an expansion of either medical cannabis or rec or both.
Here's the issue. Mike Alonso is on the same ticket as Kim. They're on the same ticket. Are they supposed to talk at some point and get together and have a meeting or something? Because they're totally apart on this issue. I mean, they couldn't be further apart. How do we get them together, and how do we get them in a room together to talk at least?
Well, I think that's up to the candidates. He's got to get himself up there and have a conversation with the lieutenant governor and share these issues. I think anybody that's running for office should do that. And actually, she's made herself extraordinarily available.
She has.
She has, and she's rare in that world. She does go out of her way. She shares her cell phone. She reaches out to people. She wants to engage in the conversation. She doesn't hide from it.
No. I like that about her. But she does not go for legalization. She's not for that. But. Okay, I want to go over this video with Jim here. This is great. Thanks, Scott Rhoda. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. What's your website again?
We are New Jersey Cannabis Business Association, and website is www.newjerseycannabusiness.com. New Jersey spelled out.
New Jersey spelled out. NewJerseyCannabisBusiness.com. Scott Rudder, we love you, man. You're awesome.
CBA. Cannabis Business Association, CBA. Scott, I got it next time. Thanks for coming.
CBA, and then we have the CWA. I was a member of the CWA for 16 years, and they taught me everything I know about what I'm doing here.
And that's how
You should be proud of what we're doing here on this podcast. We've been here for 3 years doing this in front of Chris Christie's office. We're a thorn in his side, and I'm retired from the CWA, but I'm still part of the CWA. 16 years. Thank you, guys. I love the CWA.
Well, you're gonna get a chance to display that love today because they got. Listen, this is unusual.
I might show some tough love today, but
but listen,
you get love.
that's not listening.
Okay.
They have a police permit to be here.
Oh, they do?
The same time as ours.
Whoa.
Overlapping permits.
Is that allowed?
Well, it's allowed if the state police do it, whatever the state police say. So, what our concern would be with the state police. Now, this gives us capital to play. In other words, after this, how are they going to say we deny you a permit for down there? Do you follow
Yes.
the groundwork?
This isn't working for us, Jim.
Well, no, okay.
Right.
It's working with us as
Right
far as
now.
communications workers of America is concerned.
For now.
For now. For today.
For now.
Okay, for now.
As soon as they start talking, we're going to have the...
Well, here's what's going to
Sound
happen.
issues.
What's going to happen is we're going to still be heard at the podcast with stuff going on, but they're going to be doing that for could be up to an hour, from 12 to 1.
It's going to be tough.
Let's see how long we can go, and what else we can get. We maybe be like, okay, we're good with that, but we want to see a couple medical marijuana hurrahs or something. You know?
As far as I know, the narrative I'm setting is that medical cannabis patients here today showed up in red shirts, and everybody who's in a red shirt is for medical cannabis. So thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, all you red-shirted cannabis supporters. Thank you. Thank you.
We could ask for a vote of support in the beginning.
Well, when they do their cheer, we'll get cannabis. Yay! We'll work it.
This is
We'll work it out.
this is interesting.
Mhm.
We could poll the crowd and say we're going to ask, and don't answer yet. We're going to ask who supports medical cannabis laws and who doesn't, because there will be some who don't. But if the vast majority are supportive, then we can claim they support us because we can take an on-site vote, no roll call, and then that can determine how pliable we will be with our thing with the state police, But it's going to go on anyway, so, it's sort of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and if we can help give them more power today by not actively being in their way, I think that's the right way to do it and a good thing.
Whatever you say, boss.
I appreciate that. And, of course, you realize I talk about capital all the time. You realize the amount of capital you would have with me then. It'd be like, remember, Jim, so if we can slog through this day and everybody in red shirts is smiling at us at the end of the day, I will owe you big time.
All right.
That will include something where, Jim, does big time include coming to Bergen County? Okay.
Political capital.
Does that include showing up at Bayonne? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't it be somewhere else?
Nope, Hudson County.
Okay, you'll have the ability to ask me to do that and remind me if you make it
Thank
through
you.
12 to 1.
I already have capital with you. You already owe me for a few things.
I know.
So, but I'll be good today.
I know.
Only because it's a CWA.
Yeah.
If it was a TSA, I don't know.
No.
No. CWA, I like these guys.
Well, anyway, the enemy of my enemy, and they're not necessarily enemies, just sound, you know.
Who?
Well, Chris Christie, our enemy.
Chris
Christie, their enemy.
Angela McKnight is our enemy now, just so you know. Cross her off the good list.
Well, I think from everything. Okay. Now that being said, and
Would you like to
we're
see?
all okay.
Would you like to watch?
Let's let me.
This is a great video,
let me
Jim.
See this now.
You haven't seen this yet. This is great. This is in Jersey City.
Okay. Be ready to stop it when I need you to stop
Okay.
it for it
Now,
to sink in.
we spent the last 6 months going to Bayonne in wheelchairs, showing how we cannot get into businesses into wheelchairs.
I've seen
If
that.
you,
I've
if you
seen
have a
couple of
wheelchair,
them, yeah.
you're screwed in Bayonne. There's steps
Yeah.
everywhere. Nobody has ramps.
Right.
So here we go at Angela McKnight's office in Jersey City. Shockingly, she has no ramp.
Okay, so hold that for 1 second. I want to reiterate, she's also on the Health and
Oh, yeah.
Senior Services
What a big phony.
Committee in the Assembly. So Health and Senior Services.
It's bad.
And she doesn't have access to her
It looks
ground.
really bad.
It's ground. How? Let me see
It's
how
so bad.
okay.
She's an idiot.
How can it not be accessible?
Handicap
There's
accessible
no steps.
offices, okay? And we, as taxpayers, pay for these offices. So let's see if we can get you in here to talk to your representative.
There's a phone number.
Or we got a call.
Here's the phone number.
If I'm able to access, call the number. Can you call?
Oh, boy, Mike Alonso's going to help us.
I'm gonna call.
I have hope now.
Michael's gonna save us and help us.
There's
get
no
in.
view of the door.
Wow.
Yeah,
There will be.
the back door or something.
Yeah, because I've been calling this assemblywoman all year, and she hasn't even answered my calls.
Who's
Hi,
got the
Tony. How are
camera?
you? How are you guys? John. He's here. Oh, my God, Mike Alonso.
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Tony.
Nice to meet you. Oh yes, hi. This is Michael Alonso. You know, I'm here with Michelle Burns. She's outside the Knight's office. She saw the sign. I figured I'd help her. She's trying to come in to see her assemblywoman, but she's in a wheelchair, and you know, there's no ramp or anything.
I'm sure they'll let us in now with a ramp. Of course they have a ramp.
I hate
Of
talking like
course.
this on the
Why wouldn't they
side.
have a ramp?
They have a ramp?
Of course they have a ramp. Of course. This is your assemblywoman.
I'm noticing.
This is your.
where's
Why
the
wouldn't
ramp?
she have a ramp? Hi there. How are you?
Please don't record.
Do you have a ramp so she can come in? Really? Really? Oh my God! I'm shocked.
Could you, just to be fair. could
Really?
you pop
Aren't you
that?
embarrassed?
That's about a 6-inch rise.
It's to her. It's a wall.
No, it is. It
It's a
is.
6-inch rise.
If you're by yourself, but what if somebody said, "Let me help"? Oh, it's a scooter.
That is a heavy wheelchair.
okay.
Jim. That's
No,
a 200-pound wheelchair
that needs a
with
ramp.
with a girl
Okay.
on it. And it's not going to happen.
No, I want to
It's not gonna
explain so listeners can understand what we're
Embarrassed?
looking at here.
Aren't you embarrassed? You're not embarrassed.
Listen,
You're not embarrassed to be just victimizing a sick woman in a wheelchair? Really?
That's a good
Help her
demeanor.
out, please. Let her in. Can she come
You
in?
guys are recording me, though. Please don't record me.
Please don't record me. Well, I wouldn't want to be recorded either like this. I'd be embarrassed too if I was doing it. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. What? How come she can't come into your office? All over Jersey City and Bayonne, they have this problem, and you're just sitting here with no answer. I've been calling you for a year. A year. I've been calling your office for a year, and you've done nothing to help this poor woman who's dying from multiple sclerosis. Please, I'm gonna smoke a joint. Do that. Here, smoke a joint. Let's do it. Do it. This is how our assembly people treat us and treat multiple sclerosis patients in New Jersey.
This has got to stop.
This is just right.
We got to put an end to this. Okay?
Let's talk about it.
To put a total end to this, we're going to vote for Murphy and Alonso. We're going to end this nightmare now. I mean,
I want to talk about this
Yeah.
because what happened was the police came and the police said, yeah, you're allowed to be here. You're allowed to film and you're allowed to smoke your cannabis here at Angela McKnight's office. No problem.
Okay, so to reiterate, Republican candidate for Assembly Michael Alonso is also a medical marijuana patient.
Yes.
Accompanied Michelle to Assemblywoman Angela McKnight's office,
Yes.
who is a member of the Assembly Health and Senior Services Committee, and yet she doesn't have a ramp for somebody in a scooter to get over a 6-inch
No.
impediment in the doorway.
She's not a very well thought out assemblywoman.
Well, you know, see, listen to me. That's ramp on a with a handle. It's something that you can stand up just inside the door and be brought out.
Yes.
So why don't we make one? All I need to know is the exact height of that, and I'll make one that will work and present them with it.
Let's call them and see if they got one.
Well, maybe they have one.
I bet they have one by
well,
now.
did they have one that day?
Yeah, you want to see what happened, though? Watch this.
No, it's going to be noisy.
It's not noisy. Watch this. Watch this. Here, I'll skip it up.
No would have been my answer. But
I'll skip it up to where it happens, the action, or where the cop comes. Hold on. Here comes the police. Are you guys having a conversation off the radio? Really?
You're trying to get into this
Yeah, they're
office here?
allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, and
That's not?
I understand.
No, that's not noisy.
No, it's not noisy at all. It's not working.
I know
got
it's
people
not. It's
talking.
not working.
It's not working with people talking behind me either.
Well, there's going to be
Well,
people talking.
What
all
happened
around.
was the officer said we can smoke. The assemblywoman's office called the police on us. So when the assemblywoman saw that Michelle couldn't get into the office, she's like, "Well, let me call an ambulance." And Michelle's like, "Well, who's paying for it?" Right? And what she said to you, Michelle?
She says she's not paying for it.
So you have to pay to get into your assemblywoman's office?
I just didn't seem that very right.
I'm sorry. Did you ask her who isn't paying for it, or
Well,
did you ask her who is paying for it?
I said, who's paying
Who
for it?
is, and she answered who isn't.
Yeah, she said, "I'm not
She
paying
said,
for
I'm
it."
not paying for it. That's her exact words.
Yeah.
Okay, well that doesn't really answer who's paying for it. Then she expected you to pay
Yes.
$175
Yes.
for an ambulance to
Which
bring you
ambulance do
over
you call? It's like
to bring
$500.
to bring you over a 6-inch
Yes.
Yes,
rise.
yes.
Were they going to put you in a gurney? And you know, because were they going to do that for your? My point is that it is ridiculous. Now here's an interesting situation.
Yeah. Now, why would you need music?
No. Well, it doesn't matter. It's because they have a police permit. And
Oh, that's
they
right,
get
they
to
do. They
And
do.
I know, and we could put on louder music, and we could, but it's like not going to happen because you promised me
I did. I'll be good.
we'd do it my way.
I'll be good.
Okay, now that involves that what we're going to do
Pins and needles and pins.
is we're going.
good music.
We're going to eventually, when they start talking and getting ready to exhort, we're going to turn our external speakers down and continue our podcast that we can talk about whatever, and our listeners can hear what we're saying, and we can hear what we're saying if we have headphones, no matter what they do. So consider it like a parade. You know, we have an issue when we're at a parade, and we don't know how it's going to go. And we do know there are going to be many, many people here who have a problem with Christie. Now, what this
Yes.
does is it gives us political capital. Should we ever need the CWA? You know, by the way, Lefty, we want permission to picket down the block, do we not?
Yes,
At
we
the
do.
governor's office. Do you know who else would like that? CWA.
Oh, they would.
And they would join us and talk
Oh.
to the ACLU along with us about why we need this to happen. Okay, now let me ask you that.
All right.
Good trade-off right in the start, right?
Yes, I like that.
And I got the card of who they can call. And when the ACLU finds out that the communication workers in New Jersey, CWA of America in New Jersey, that they support being able to get a permit to protest where the governor is as well.
That's
and
a
they
good
and they
idea.
wanted to go in front of the State House, whether or not, you know, and the police wouldn't give them a permit. So what the police did to keep them from simply showing up anyway and creating a whole nuisance was to have overlapping permits, knowing us and that we won't make undue trouble for them. Now, we're not for the guys that we know, but for the people making the decisions, we are indeed going to make trouble, but the nice kind, ACLU kind, you know. But it's not just going to be us. It's going to be us as a plaintiff if it needs to go to court. We would be the plaintiff, and they would be supported, maybe we'd make it a class action a suit of some, I don't know. But it's so important to have a major player, which they are, joining up with something we need, which is to get in front of the governor's new office down the street. Now, people understand the reason that we have the ability to have gatherings here is because, according to the state constitution, we have the right to gather at the source of our government, the core of our government. And we got those rights when it was more or less town center somewhere, and you had the right to go to town center. And now it carries all the way around specifically that we have a right to be at the State House, and that is because that is where the governor is. Seldom does the center of government move down a block, a half a mile away. Do we have the right to follow them? No, says the state police who issue the permits. Yes, says us. We haven't forced it. We're not going to go down a picket group of 5 and cause some sort of problem. But the ACLU getting in touch with, or anybody getting in touch, a lawyer, saying that this is going to require legal action, you know, and whatever legal mumbo jumbo they do. I'm always interested in what music people play. You know, this is sort of, it's kind of, it's upbeat. It's, I don't know, disco-ish? What is it? Lethargic disco?
I got someone who's lethargic right now. We'll give her a call.
Sure, we can do that.
Angela McKnight is very lethargic when it comes to helping the sick and disabled.
Lefty, first of all, may I say, you did really good there. The worst you did was laugh incredulously at what you were being told by this woman. You're right, they're wrong. You have a lot. All you got to do is lay it out. Now, I'm not saying that I'm just saying if you took 30 seconds and made 4 thumb notes, I want to say this, I want to do, you know, and just march down that line, you're right. They're wrong.
Let's call them. Here you go, Angela McKnight.
I'm going to leave you to your devices for a moment. You don't need me. I'm going to mingle with my herb, my anti-drug shirt amongst the CWAers.
Hello? Hold on, that didn't work. Hold on, Jim, don't leave me yet. I'm having technical difficulties here. Should be connected.
Hey, how much are the t-shirts?
20.
20?
20, yep.
Thank you.
Which one do you like?
There's a lot of them are good. I was just curious. I thought it was for my wife.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let's try to call this woman again. It's very loud here. All right. Assemblywoman McKnight. Let's try you again. Plus my phone. There it goes. Why are you all leaving me? Come back. Come back, Jim. Come back, William. Come back, Dan. Come back, Michelle.
Good morning, Assemblywoman McKnight. How can I help you?
Yes, hi. This is Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. Can I speak to Assemblywoman McKnight, please?
Assemblywoman McKnight is speaking.
Oh, this is great. This is Edward Grimes, Lefty Grimes. I was there the other day with Michelle. We couldn't get into your office with a wheelchair. And did you guys get a ramp yet?
Did you guys get a what?
A ramp for her to get in? Because she has no...
I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
She has no ramp to get into your office. There's no ramp. Do you have a way
Yes, and I understand that. Is Michelle with you? Can I speak with Michelle?
Sure, Michelle, talk to the
Talk
to her. Put this on. Talk to her. Go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good, yes. You did come to the office, and I do appreciate that. And I'm already working on fixing, mitigating the matter. So I will definitely, give you a call tomorrow with an update. I'll call you every, 2 days with an update. But I already have been speaking with the landlord.
That's really great.
Hello?
Yeah, that's really great.
Michelle?
Yeah, I'm
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so, yes. So I'll give you a call tomorrow with with an update. But I already reached out to the landlord.
That's wonderful.
So you don't own the property? Okay. I was just a little shocked that you're on the Health and Senior Services Committee and you don't have a ramp. I was just amazed at that. I would be embarrassed.
Can I speak to Michelle, please?
Yes, I'm right here.
Michelle, so I'll give you a call tomorrow, okay? With an update, all right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle, and you have a great day.
You too.
Not me.
Bye-bye.
Not me, though. She said not me. She said you have a great day, not me. Unbelievable. Yeah, we just called the assemblywoman. That was your assemblywoman, and you pay taxes that you're supposed to get into her office, and you can't get into her office if you have a wheelchair in Jersey City. Can you believe that? Michelle, what do you think about that? How do you feel about that you couldn't get into her office? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was very upset, but I mean, that's something I have to deal with if you're going to go in any office in Bayonne or Jersey City, because that's all it is. It's big steps to go into every building, except for new buildings, which there are not many new buildings.
Unbelievable. I'm shocked that she answered the phone. You know why she answered the phone?
Yeah, so am I.
Because she fired everybody.
Don't say
She's
that.
all by herself in the office. She fired everybody.
You called up and she answered?
Jim, she answered the phone. But you know why she answered? Because everybody's gone. She fired everybody, Jim.
Say that again.
Angela McKnight answered the phone. Angela McKnight fired her entire staff.
Okay, now the first part's serious.
Yes.
So the second part is kind of
It's
ruminating
conjecture.
on what might be happening at this
exactly.
moment.
It's hilarious. Angela McKnight is on damage control big time.
And you have the ability to take a snippet of this broadcast and put that with your commentary out for public consumption. So let's recap. Okay, for those who really even care about this. Michelle couldn't get into Assemblywoman Angela McKnight's office because it had a 6-inch thing she had to get over. So that couldn't be done. And then Angela McKnight herself said, then why don't you get an ambulance? And you said, who's going to pay for it?
An ambulance.
And she said, well, not me. So that's the best she could do. If you want to talk to her, it's going to cost you a little.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay something, like an ambulance.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. So, okay, that's how she can deal with that. But now you've called back from a worldwide podcast, and you did so with actually an audience of, well, people who have an interest in saying something about Christie. So this is, we overlap in that area as well. And she did all that. She answered the phone.
She answered the phone. I was surprised. I didn't even know who was calling.
Okay, and now I was unaware that was Angela. I was unaware that was Angela.
Who was I? Until I heard
The
the voice, I remember her
Assemblywoman.
voice.
I got to go. It looks like there's a T-shirt about to go into the fountain
One did the
area
other
there.
day. One more name.
Which the
Don't
one
sh-
coalition shirt that I have out
No, don't
there?
shoot me on white shirt one in the
Well,
corner.
I got to get that. Lefty, could you save the coalition shirt? No. It's almost going for a swim.
Yeah, it is. Not yet.
So okay then. So Assemblywoman McKnight answered the phone for Lefty,
Yes.
and you got to talk to her again.
Yeah, exactly.
And
she never
I
answered for
missed
over
it
a year.
becau-
Over a
okay.
year we've been calling. She hasn't
I
answered.
thought that was a staffer answering the phone. Never do they answer their own
No,
phone.
they don't.
So what happened is you achieved Angela McKnight answering the phone, having to talk to Lefty. You sounded like you were doing good, Lefty. You sounded, you took advantage of the moment, I hope, because
Just now?
yeah.
I was shocked that she picked up the phone.
Yeah, but did you didn't get heavy-handed. You were more like, you should be embarrassed. I heard that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
should be. And she's like, I want to talk to Michelle. I don't want
Yeah,
to talk to
she
you.
don't wanna talk to him at
Daddy!
all.
Well,
Daddy was my
okay,
daddy!
that was her choice from the beginning. That was her choice. Now, this is also, let that be a lesson for others that, there could be consequences. So in a little while, they're going to be going through some stuff here. This is the first overlapping police permit that I can remember ever since we've been getting. There's a assemblyman, speaker of the assembly, Vincent Prieto, the one Governor Christie calls all sorts of names. He's standing up front. That's going to be no surprise. I recognize a few people here. He's also very supportive of medical marijuana and what we do.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, well, as most people who are in power in New Jersey are.
Yeah.
We've got a full round of support. So what we're doing is unprecedented. We're going to, for the first time, Michelle, in 4 years, we're going to shut off our speakers. For the first time in 4 years, to accommodate the CWA. Now, Lefty, you learn what you had to learn about that. And what's going on?
We're good. We got all the cannabis patients are around our speakers now. We got all the people listening to us now.
There you go. All right, everybody, you want to move in a little bit, please?
Everybody move in. Come
front
on.
And center, front and center.
Cannabis patients over here, please. All cannabis patients.
Don't be afraid of the medical marijuana folks here.
We're legal patients. Be calm. We're medical cannabis patients. Don't be afraid. We're not going to hurt you. We'll just smoke you up a little bit.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We are friends. We have a common enemy. So welcome. And for the first time,
welcome.
I want to say before we shut down, for the first time ever in 4 years, we are relinquishing our speakers to another organization. So let's have a hand for Coalition for Medical Marijuana for relinquishing the oh, come on now. Okay, let me explain it to everybody. We have a permit to be here, too.
Yeah,
we're shutting our speakers off for the first time.
We are?
And we're being ignored.
Why?
Now, I'm not real.
Why are we doing that?
Can I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I think we should just leave it alone.
Perhaps we should turn our speakers around. I don't. I'm quite disappointed.
Yeah.
So for the record here, we're really saying no support or gratitude for relinquishing our state police permit because the CWA strong-armed the state police into giving them a permit. That's what the state police told me.
Oh, wow.
I want to thank the CWA for supporting cannabis rights in New Jersey. Yay. Thank you. Thank you for supporting cannabis. Yes. CWA and cannabis. Beautiful
Shirts
together.
$20. 2 for $15.
Yeah, shirts are $20.
Okay, we represent sick and dying people. You represent union members. It doesn't mean that you can't appreciate what we're doing and not keeping our speakers on. And quite frankly, I'm inclined to change my vote in a two-person vote unless somebody says thank you for doing this. After 4 years and 102 permits once a week, we're getting nothing here. Not one person saying thanks.
At least buy a shirt.
Well, Jim, as a member of the CWA for 16 years, I support cannabis and I support you. Yeah. I am part of the CWA for 16 years. Bell Labs. I love the CWA.
Lefty.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this then. I say we give them a little bit of background music while they're speaking.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
No, but.
No,
I don't like their music.
Well, good. No, but I'm just saying something.
Okay.
Something.
I got something.
Something.
I got something.
But whoa, no, whoa. But what?
I got it.
No, I don't trust you.
Relax.
No, this is about sick and dying people, but I appreciate the joke.
Yeah, sick people and cancer patients and people with AIDS and
you really
seizures.
Need a license to do that?
Yeah.
People with seizures.
I know it's like we're a joke.
I mean,
nah, it's no joke. There's people dying and
I know it.
People need cannabis.
No, but I don't trust you. What music? Come on, nothing.
It's gonna be.
No. Come on, don't make me walk. I will. I swear. I'll pack up my tent and go home. It got to be music I agree with.
Of course it will be.
Why
wouldn't it be?
Is that you or them?
No, that's them. Why wouldn't I play something that you'd love? Of course it's going to be something you love.
Okay, well, you don't want to compete with the music. But what can we have?
Oh, my God.
Nah, something that actually has to do with what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, though.
Magical butter machine.
Now's the time for a commercial.
I bet you they will love
because
that.
magical butter makes your recipes better. Magical butter makes your recipes better. Brownies, cookies, smoothies, sauces, soups, veggies, candies, salad dressings for your tossed salad, Michelle.
Yum.
You don't have to have it if it's tossed.
1-800-420-4334. MagicalButter.com.
Are you listening, Gary and Angel? We're giving you a commercial in front of several hundred really non-supporters.
Comes with a love glove. Comes with a love glove. Comes with a love glove from Gary and Angel. Magical butter makes your recipes so much better with MagicalButter.com. Magical butter makes your recipes so much better with Magical Butter.
No, I have a plan.
1-800-420-4334. MagicalButter.com. Get your Magical Butter machine from MagicalButter.com.
What was that?
What happened there?
1-800. I don't know. Lefty,
Yeah, we're good, man. I'm a CWA member myself. Send them to me. Hey, they got a problem, tell them to talk to me. Thank you. CWA, 16 years. 16 years of CWA. I love you guys. You guys taught me everything I know. You guys should be proud of me. I'm out here doing podcasts 3 years outside the State House. And I learned all my audio skills from the CWA. CWA taught me everything I know. Thank you, CWA. And Magical Butter. Magical Butter makes your recipes better. Get your Magical Butter machine from magicalbutter.com. There you go. I can't believe McKnight picked the phone up. I can't believe it. I'm still shocked.
That was great. That was
That was just, wow. Wow, we got to call Mike Alonso now.
Okay, here's the deal. I just asked for an introduction, and that we are going to turn our speakers down for the first time in 4 years.
Are they going to introduce us?
No. He said he'll go talk to the one doing that. And then I negotiated and said, well, if not, then our speakers are going to stay on.
I want them to recognize us and
No,
say,
yeah, with no
that's all.
recognition,
Yeah.
our speakers are going to play whatever we want to play. Yeah, and I'll explain that through a microphone to everybody here. I mean, this is a negotiation. I hope everybody's listening.
Hey,
'Cause
Jim.
we can play some really bad music. We just want recognition
I'll
for
play
doing
noise.
something nice.
Yeah, play noise.
Jim, did you shut the speakers off before?
I'll be right back.
No, Jim, did you shut the speakers off before? Did you turn them off?
No.
Okay, somebody did. And that's a
Oh,
big
well
no-no.
then, okay, well then I
That's a
go
big
down to
no-no.
the state police and we shut this down.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Exactly.
touched my equipment. You
No,
don't touch
this-
someone's
Touch our
equipment.
equipment.
No,
That's
you don't,
not going to work
you
this
don't
way.
touch-
This,
Don't touch our
No,
equipment.
Lefty,
because I'm going
Lefty.
to pull a plug.
No.
No?
We go down and I tell the state police and they shut
Exactly.
them down.
Okay, good.
And
Let's
there's
do
no
that.
being
Well,
rude.
man, you got to do it my way. You said you would.
I will. Okay. You
right.
got it. You got it, Jim.
I'm going on down there now. You got my number, right?
All right, Jim, go for it. I'll call Mike Alonso while you're busy.
No. You tell me if they got that for us or not. If not, I call the state police.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay, cannabis. Yes, we cannabis.
So we.
Are they? Do they recognize us? Do they say,
Yeah,
"Hey,
they're-
thank you," or no?
They just said nice stuff about us.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
All right, we're down.
they did.
Good. Cool. Dead air.
Okay, right now, the reason there's dead air is we're turning our speakers down because we're supporting the CWA. So we got quite a good introduction. That was nice, and they do support us. So now we can continue the podcast. We have Ken Wolski here, who's not going to hear me. This is interesting. Check it out, Lefty. I don't know where your headphones are.
Why do I hear dead air?
No, I'm talking. I'm talking and not dead air.
Really?
Yeah, I put one out there
There's one out
for an
there.
example.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, what we got is we got a
All right, it just got crazy
well,
up in here.
Yeah. What we got here, Ken, is we're shutting our
Oh,
speaker.
hey,
We're spading our
smoke marijuana today.
Okay, let me talk. This is great.
Smoke marijuana
I think
today.
this is great. See, Lefty can say that, but these people can't
Smoke
hear.
cannabis today.
Lefty. And right now he's just getting
Smoke
people
cannabis today.
getting people looking angrily over
Smoke
it. Lefty,
cannabis today.
come on, man. I mean, I appreciate
Smoke
it.
cannabis today.
Lefty, you said you'd do
I
it
can't
my
hear you.
way. Seriously.
What is it?
Yeah.
Smoke cannabis right away.
Okay. Yeah, but
Yes. Smoke cannabis right away.
okay.
What'd you say, Jim? I can't hear you.
That's borderline.
Right away. What?
It's borderline because you did that.
What?
It's like Stephen.
Can't hear
Stephen. Okay, put on your headphones.
Weed.
Seriously, put them on. Okay. You're keeping your headphones off, so you have plausible deniability.
Oh, shit.
And that's a good move.
Now
It
I can
really
hear you.
is.
Did you say something?
Yeah, but the thing is when you want to gauge if 10 people scowl and one person thinks it's funny, don't do it.
He likes it.
Okay.
He liked it. She liked it. They all liked it.
No.
They're
Come
all
on.
stoned.
Oh, I got eyes, man.
Jim,
But
they're all
see,
stoned.
I
Look
know,
at them.
But right now they can't hear what we're saying while they're making noise, so we can broadcast.
Yeah.
They gave us my negotiation for an introduction went really well. This can have
Can we get you on the mic here?
or headphones.
Headphones and a mic, because
Mostly, you can at least hear what we're saying,
Yeah.
because we were just saying awful things about you behind your back, and you didn't hear us. It was like or maybe we weren't. You'll have to watch the replay. We wouldn't do that. What's going on is they strong-armed the state police to get a permit today. They strong-armed them. They said we're going to show up.
Why do you say that?
Because the state police said they were going to show up anyway. So they gave them a permit even though we have a permit. Now that gives us capital that I'm going to apply for a permit down there. Yeah. And when I'm denied, I'm going to say, let me get this straight. You gave away our place when we did have a permit to a larger, noisier group. And we had to shut off our speakers for the first time in 4 years. And we did, because I negotiated a really good introduction for the Coalition for Medical Marijuana. Did you hear it?
No.
No, in the beginning?
No.
Yeah, what I said was we're going to keep our... I tried to get recognition from them, And it was like we weren't hearing. I said, we're going to shut down our speakers for the first time in 4 years. And it was like they couldn't hear. But we had speakers on and they didn't. They could hear. So the guy who was... working it and said we had to turn our speakers off. I said, no, we got a permit. We don't have to turn them off, but I will turn them off if you give us a good introduction. Coalition for Medical Marijuana. We're here every week, blah, blah, blah. And he did. First he said, I'll see if I can, but I don't know. And I said, well, if you don't, the speakers stay on. He goes, well, I don't know about that. And I go, I'm telling you, the speakers stay on. And I go down and get the state police close you down otherwise if you don't. So that's my negotiation. As you can see, all I'm asking is for a simple. So he did, and it was very good. And we got a healthy round of applause from everybody. So now everybody knows what we're doing here.
Good.
So for that, we keep on podcasting for our listeners. And we just won't reach the hundreds of people we usually do who go by. Oh, wait a minute. Nobody's going by. This is as good as it gets. And Lefty, by the way, I'm going to owe him big time because he's been a man of his word. He promised that he would do it my way today.
Oh, good.
I didn't attack. I was ready to attack, Ken.
No attacking. We have. This is a coalition. We bring people in. We don't attack.
I'm sorry.
We don't.
We
don't.
No, it was just that.
Oh, okay.
Michelle,
Sorry.
how quick? You can probably see your head nod. How quick did Ken just go? Good. With that, he also started breathing again.
His butthole went. Bloop.
Yeah, but the thing is for all Lefty's faults, he does recognize sometimes that in retrospect,
What faults?
I might
back it up.
have. Oh, come
No,
on.
all
Back
of
it up.
Lefty's faults.
Back it up.
Yeah,
Wait a
all
minute.
of
What
them.
faults? Okay, cut it out.
When you digress and we don't get through a conversation, I'm sorry, was I just talking about? Oh, your faults.
Well,
there you go. That was one. No, but we overlap. We have the same passion. We get out there. And when we overlap, integrate. So now there'll be something where I'm wishy-washy about, and he gets to say, remember when I did it your way at the CWA thing? I mean, who do we have? We have Vincent Prieto speaking, or ready to speak. This is
right. The assembly leader there.
Yes. Yeah. So like, guess who else heard about the coalition? Turning the speakers off.
It's definitely
the assemblyman did.
Good
so I
I
negotiated a good introduction from somebody they had to applaud with. And
good, excellent work, Jim. That's very diplomatic of you, and.
You always want to get something. This is capital that we have. We're also the state police. They issued an overlapping permit because they were going to come anyway, and this made their job easier. Should I care about that? Well, I do care about it if they tell me what I need to do to get a permit down in front of the governor. In other words, I'm saying I know you can't issue one. I want you to tell me what I should do. Advise me. Because also the one I was talking with said the CWA also wants that. They wanted to go down there. This was their third choice. They said they wanted the State House.
Right.
No. They said they wanted to go down there. They were told no. So they agree that they would join us if we push the issue. The CWA will stand with us on that, and that gives us more power than just us. They've been turned down too. and now they're forced to double up here, which is against everything they say that they do when issuing permits. So do you see how we have, in other words, they're in the same position of Angela McKnight. They can't come out looking good unless they give something. And what it'll be, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a wonderful new office the state police have down the block. And
down the block?
Yeah, in front of there, the state police is now in the same building as the office of the governor. And the guy in the sunglasses here is the guy that said the nice things about the cola. Doesn't he remind you of Chris Goldstein? Look, take a look.
Which one?
Right there. Sunglasses,
oh,
talking with the
yeah,
woman.
yeah,
Look,
right.
Couldn't
right.
that be like Chris's cousin or something?
Well, Assembly Leader Prieto is going to speak right now. Do you want to listen to him? You hear what he has to say?
No. Not really.
Well,
I used to be a CWA member. I was a CWA member for a number of years.
So was Lefty.
So was I, 16 years.
I'm sandwiched in. I'm in a CWA sandwich.
So I can talk crap if I want, Ken. I can talk all the crap I want, Ken. I can't hear him anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just dead air to me.
Well,
seriously, guys, it's just dead air because we can't hear it. So if you want to listen, let's just play music.
Yeah, well, we're at least when we're being respectfully not.
Right.
We're not yelling like William Haney does and getting echoes going.
Wow! Oh my God.
Yeah, well, it would be funny. We could really interrupt him by going, "Hey, William," and letting.
Come here, William.
No! Don't do that. Don't do it.
I can't really understand.
You still
got
to get through another 45 minutes of my way.
Now, Ed Honeyb called me in the car about an hour ago and said that he told me that there was going to be this demonstration here, and I said,
I don't know.
I couldn't imagine where it was going to be because the only available place was the annex, and we were there.
Yeah.
So anyway, he said that there were going to be several hundred state workers there. They were apparently it was an impromptu demonstration before, but you can't have that without with conflicting with another permitted demonstration.
And the state police, if they were going to do their job, now what they did was the same thing they do on 420. Their job is to not let people smoke pot. We give them the choice. 200 people smoke pot across the street, and you try to see how many you can arrest, or you let us do this for 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll not do that on the other side of the road. That's the same sort of, they say, well, in the interest of public safety, it would be better just to turn a blind eye to that. So that's kind of what they're doing here. Yeah. But that also means that we need a blind eye turned to something we're doing. And they kind of do that all the time with people in the grass, and stuff like that. But now they owe us.
Right. So we're building capital, and we don't want to waste it. We don't want to be jerks about it.
Well, Ken, I was, of course, talking with all the people I knew down there and telling them that as long as there's not a problem and whatever, but, I'll be able to use this capital right away because at the end of the day, I'm going to go on down and say we'd like to get a Thursday permit instead of the Wednesday permit, but we want it for down there, and I'll acknowledge that I know you're going to say no, but I got to get the ball rolling. In other words, I need an official denial, and I'll need it in writing if that's possible. Thank you. Have a good day. Appreciate all you do for us. In other words, it's not you guys, Hey, we may need some help in holding the tent down if it gets windy. Where will we find people to volunteer to hold our tent top down? Well, the same people would blow into.
Was Assembly Leader Vince Prieto.
I tell you, I'd rather listen to Lefty speak. Lefty would have got him clapping 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he said the same words. I'm just saying. You could have taken the words and made it a speech.
So what Ed Honeyb suggested was bringing literature to this demonstration that we could pass out among the state employees. And I do have a bunch of literature in the car, but I really don't think that they're really showing much interest in what we're talking about at all here.
They're not. I didn't make copies.
We haven't sold any T-shirts.
No.
I sold 1 T-shirt.
They sold a T-shirt.
Not to them. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle.
We need. Cindy Ruggiero wanted to get a couple of extra larges, I think it was, or maybe they're large and extra. So
I got them. They're here.
Okay, and
they have 6 X large. That one right there.
No, not coalition shirts. We're talking coalition. No, we're not selling. Don't shoot me on white shirts. We're selling coalition shirts, And the thing is, with Lefty able to spread his shirts out and sell that. that's part of being a coalition. We're coalescing and saying we can give you a certain amount of money, which we do, and then you can sell your stuff there, which he does, and then we try to this way. Hopefully, I'm thinking even of doing a late season fundraiser. It might even just be online, to keep the coalition going for not the coalition, the podcast. Just something because people appreciate what we do in other states. And I think if given a chance to give $5 or $10 to a GoFundMe or something like that, supported by the coalition, for, picking up the final tab, So.
What is he doing?
While
Lefty's hawking his shirts, I guess. He's walking around with his T-shirt.
Well, good.
Which is smart because we have people looking at him, and you need somebody there saying you want to buy one here.
And
here's how much they are.
I
Give me the
fully
money.
support him doing his merch thing while it's shut down. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Did you hear what happened? When Michelle and Lefty and Michael Alonso went to Assemblywoman Angela McKnight's office.
Yes. Well, I did watch that. It was about an 11-minute or 15-minute video.
I saw excerpts. Yeah.
Basically, what I took it down from friends of CMMNJ. I didn't see it. I saw it as a wheelchair issue, an accessibility access issue, and so I didn't see it as a coalition for medical marijuana. Friends of CMMNJ. It wasn't a medical marijuana issue, at least not at that time.
Not that exactly.
And obviously, she wanted to get in and talk about that, but this was more of a disability access issue. So I didn't think it was appropriate for friends of CMMNJ, but I did see it.
No, okay. Well, then if it isn't cannabis related, that's the rule.
Right.
You could have related it to cannabis and want to talk about an accessibility issue on the way in to talk about medical marijuana. If that was the stated purpose, then it would have been different.
Yeah.
But that wasn't. So.
Yeah. No.
So basically, though. Lefty called the Angela McKnight's office, and guess who answered the phone?
Angela McKnight.
Angela McKnight. And after a minute, she was on the podcast. She was begging to talk to Michelle. Could you put Michelle on, please?
Oh, really?
Yeah, please.
Nice.
I want to talk to Michelle.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So it went further, and there is a recording of it. So see if we can segment that.
Oh, good.
And again, not necessarily for the coalition site, but she is on the Assembly Health and Senior Services Committee.
Powerful
so on
position.
Health and Senior Services, you want to grab just for a second. I'll get some weight, but if you want to stand and just talk about anything, what's going on, maybe make an announcement that we're what we're doing here in case somebody tunes in. Not real important because we don't have a huge viewership. I'm gonna go get some weights. I'll weight this down.
Oh, you have some weights?
Yeah, and I got bungee cords. I'll bungee cord the backs right now, but we can't have dead air.
Yeah, so, well, thank you, Jim. Yeah, this is Ken Wolski, the Executive Director of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana in New Jersey. Thank you for the applause. I realize you're not really applauding for me, but but it did kind of come in right on schedule there. So we're going to be doing a presentation at Monmouth Medical Center for nurses this Saturday, and there's still time to sign up for that from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Going to have Dr. Medvedovsky there, Ken Wolski, and some people representing the nutritional aspects
we
of
do
hemp.
have a medical marijuana supporter there.
We do?
Assemblywoman Greenstein. Linda Greenstein, she's...
Oh, Linda Greenstein, yes, she's great.
Assemblywoman Greenstein. She's authored medical marijuana legislation, I believe, or co-sponsored it for the children's thing, for somebody.
Right. No, she's been very
and she
supportive
sees us here.
of,
See, this is also we
every
gain
aspect of
recognition.
it.
She sees us.
Good.
Hello.
Sure. I'm chasing people down here. Ken. Careful. I'm chasing people down. People are just grabbing the "Don't Shoot" on white shirts, and they're just grabbing them and walking away. Like
Well, somebody's got to be there and to sell them.
Wait a minute, what are you doing? People just taking handfuls, and they're walking away with handfuls of shirts. Oh, God. I think I lost a few already.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So, no, you got to be there, and you got to tell them how much they cost and what sizes are available, and be ready to give them change for their money. So yeah, that's an important part. Fundraising really is. You should never pass up an opportunity to fundraise. I learned that through the Marijuana Policy Program, the Grants Education and Training Network. It's one of the things that keeps an organization viable. Getting a steady stream of finances coming into it. These organizations that are all volunteer like ours, we depend for our existence on the sale of T-shirts and wristbands, and so we don't have funding from government or even other organizations. So we need to hustle. We need to hustle our butts and raise funds constantly. So. Assemblyman Wayne D'Angelo in 15th District, now addressing the CWA crowd. So,
heck of a crowd.
Yeah. And I suppose this is really about the state employees getting paid for their day off, their furlough day.
Yeah.
Lefty, is this what is the genesis of this?
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, sure. I mean, the state employees were locked out of their jobs. They wanted to go to work on those days, but they weren't permitted. They had anticipated going. They were locked out because of a budget dispute among the legislature and the governor. It's not their fault they weren't getting paid. They certainly deserve pay, as far as I'm concerned. I'm supportive of the goals of this demonstration. It is a little conflicting, and with our demonstration, we have a permit to be here.
Ken, what did you do for the CWA?
Well, I was a nurse. I was a nurse for 22 years with the New Jersey Department of Corrections, and I was a loyal CWA member that entire time. How's the
CWA cover nursing?
Well, that was the union that covered us as a state employee in the Department of Corrections. Yeah, the professionals were covered by the Communication Workers of America, and the non-professionals were covered by AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. I started as an AFSCME employee at Trenton Psychiatric Hospital when I was mopping floors in the back wards of the Trenton Psychiatric Hospital, and I was an AFSCME employee for 4 years. But when I became an RN, then I became a member of the CWA. It's an employee union for higher level professionals in the state of New Jersey. So, as I said, I was a staff nurse. I was a supervisor of nurses. I was a quality assurance specialist. I was a quality assurance coordinator, and then I became a health services manager with the Department of Corrections. I was in charge of all the health services in two of the major institutions in New Jersey at the end of my career, at East Jersey State Prison in Rahway and at Edna Mann Correctional Facility in Clinton. So thank you for asking, and that's my affiliation with CWA.
Interesting, yeah, because I was CWA at Bell Labs when I was working the boards and working the the sound boards and doing the satellite trucks and the staging and all that stuff. That was CWA. I'm thinking communications workers. I'm just wondering why nursing was considered part of the communications.
Well, even more bizarre, I was when I was a nurse in one facility, I was a member of the Teamsters Union.
Okay.
So it all depends on which union, which national union really gets the contract to cover these people. So obviously it's highly sought after for state employees, all the employees here, to get a contract, and CWA is a powerful national union, and so they won the ability to represent the higher level professionals in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, unions seem to be very democratic, but I'd love to see how much support Mike Alonso would have in here. I wonder. Ken, did you see the video with Mike Alonso, how he destroyed Angela McKnight?
Well, I didn't see any actual destruction of Angela McKnight. I saw the video where he confronted Angela McKnight, and you confronted, and Michelle confronted Angela outside of her office in Bayonne, I guess it was.
Jersey City.
Jersey City, sorry. And there's Michael Aaron from New Jersey Network walking by. To me, it was an interesting video, but it was more a question of disability access to her office rather than medical marijuana. So I didn't think it was appropriate for the Friends of CMMNJ. That was my only concern about it, Lefty.
Well, that a politician has no compassion, I think that concerns everyone. A politician that doesn't allow wheelchairs in her office. It's a federal. It's a government building. She should be fined for not allowing people with have access to a handicap access.
Well, I'm not sure about all the ramifications of the American with Disability Act and whether that's really true what you're saying. Can you say that every assembly office in the state is in violation of it if they don't have disability
Yes, that's
access?
exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Do you know that to be true? Have you spoken to lawyers about
Just
that?
her office. She's the only one that I've seen that has no access. So she's very ignorant.
Have you been to Assemblyman Gusiora's office right across the street? It looks like you have to walk up a flight of steps. Now, there may be a back entrance to it. I don't know.
Oh, Ken, you're going to sick me after Reed, really? I don't want to go after Reed. Now you're going to sick me after him? I don't want to go after Reed. I like Reed.
But, you can't say things that aren't true, on the other hand.
All right, so I'm going after Reed now. Jim, Ken's got me sick. He's got me after Reed now.
Here,
I'm going after him. Thank you.
Thank
you, sir.
Buy one of our T-shirts.
Yes.
Buy one of our T-shirts. Support our cause. And so see now. The other thing is that we should have people available, ready to engage with people who come up to us to buy one of the T-shirts. Find out, tell them more about it. Offer them literature, offer them T-shirts. Ask for donations for what we're doing. Fundraising. It really is about fundraising, Lefty. It really is an important aspect of keeping our message alive to the people. So.
Some of us are just trying to stay alive ourselves.
Well, that's true. That's true. And one of the ways that we're trying to stay alive is by making marijuana more available to people. So that's how we're and how we make marijuana more available to people is by fundraising and by making sure that our organization is a financially viable organization. And look, here's a picture of Christie on the beach, and show us the money walking past. Homemade sign. A lot of talent went into that sign. So the rally is, of course, to pay the state workers for their enforced day off. They didn't have any say in whether or not they wanted to be off that day. They were ready and willing to go to work, and they were locked out of their job because of a dispute. So that probably we could probably make an issue about the music. Interested in purchasing one of our T-shirts, sir? All right. So.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that necessary?
What necessary?
That music?
No, you're right. Well, that might be something that Jim might want to talk to them about.
That's a little overkill, I think.
Yeah. Especially when we're being cooperative and turning down our speakers. I think that would be entirely appropriate to
yeah, it would be nice if we had a little, because we are helping the sick and dying here. Michelle has multiple sclerosis, and people would like to hear what she has to say. People want to hear about sick people in New Jersey and what their struggles are.
Right.
Michelle can't get into businesses in New Jersey because there's steps in Bayonne and Jersey City. Doesn't that concern people? I mean, that concerns me as a citizen that when I'm in a wheelchair, I will not have access to any shops in Bayonne.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Have you seen Bayonne and Jersey City? There's steps everywhere. Steps. And Michelle, if you watch our videos, she can't get into about 60 businesses turned her away. Nobody had ramps. What year is this? 2017? In a big city like Bayonne? She can't get into any businesses. That's shocking to me. Shocking. And our Assemblywoman, McKnight, she had a step too. She had a step, Assemblywoman, who couldn't get into her own Assemblywoman's office. Wow. It's worse than it's like the 1936 again. Yeah, can I ask you a question? You're obviously a supporter of us. You support cannabis rights, or do you support patients, or do you support us? Pardon? Do you support us? Cannabis? Do you support cannabis?
Marijuana reform.
Medicinal marijuana? Absolutely.
Yes.
If it helps anyone, it should be something
right,
we should be available.
Yeah.
Should make available for people. I mean, not every drug helps everyone.
Right.
That's a given. And for some people, this works. It should be decriminalized.
Yeah.
And should be made so that people can use it. I mean, alcohol, much more dangerous.
Horrible. Horrible.
And yet you can go anywhere right now
Yep.
and drink yourself silly.
Yep.
I mean, I might be wrong to say that, but
No,
it's
it's
the
true.
case. And it's sad.
I was on opiates for 10 years because I have a bad back. And I use cannabis. I don't take any pills anymore. I'm off all those pills.
But as long as they consider it criminal and put it right up there with heroin,
Yeah.
we have governors here who won't look beyond that. And
Yeah.
the governors that do and do allow it, it's still restrictive. You
Yeah.
can't cross borders. You can't purchase it from a neighboring state.
Yep.
Because it's still considered, what is it, Schedule 1 or Schedule C? I can't
Schedule
remember
1.
what
Yep.
the federal government calls it, but it's a criminal offense. And it's sad that medication that's good, that works for you, not even the Veterans Administration and the hospitals that are supported by them can issue it to you. Because I'm sorry, it's still a dangerous drug, and even though it might help you, maybe not a guarantee, but it might help you.
You know what
I'm on the Coalition for Medical Marijuana email list, so.
Oh, great. Okay. Awesome.
It's a great thing you guys are doing, and it's sad that you still have to continually be out here.
Well, if not for the man to my left, Ken Wolski, we would not be here. I co-founded the coalition with Ken late in 2003. But I'm not the guy that would make it run. If he didn't make this run, we would have folded up our tent a long time ago. So, it's good that he's the one that makes sure there at least is an email list so people have some idea what's going on, But it was nice to share the stage with somebody
it's
that got
unconscionable.
people out.
It really is. Bottom line, it is unconscionable to make people suffer, and that's basically what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's
He's
why
making people suffer, and I don't know. Maybe the 20th century is not the right one. Maybe we should talk about the dark ages. This is the time of the dark ages.
So you like
even
our
our Native American brothers out there knew the value of something as easy to handle as they've seen.
This is our slogan right there, what you just said, because no one should suffer needlessly.
Amen.
So it is exactly what you were saying, and in saying that here with such passion, validate why that's such a good T-shirt that we have. It's
amen, amen, and amen.
No one deserves to suffer needlessly, and if it can help, it can. If it won't hurt anybody else, who else has got skin in the game,
Not everyone. Not every
It won't
medication
help.
works for everyone.
But they deserve the right to find out for themselves without really having to break laws or worry about it. And the people that could use it that are just not going to break a law, and then their family gets to watch them suffer, maybe die in misery. Dad didn't need to die, but he was such a hard ass and would never use that because it's illegal. And he's not a patient, So, that happens. There's so many ways that people suffer. And when that says no one deserves to suffer needlessly, as I'm sure you know, for every patient, there's other people suffering with them that they can't help, that they're helpless to help their loved one with such a simple matter. I appreciate your passion, though. This is what we need, more people to really take the time just to say, go on record and take part for that minute. You took part for Union today. Now you're putting into words what we say all the time, but when it comes from somebody passing by that just wants to take time to say it, it means so much more than what we say every day, in my opinion. So I appreciate you stopping.
Thank you, gentlemen. And until such time, we're not treated, it's the Inquisition to have something as simple as people to be taken care of. I don't know. But it's been an honor, privilege. Thank you so much. You're in our hearts and in our prayers. And I have to go back to work. But thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, David.
Let me shake your hand.
Thank you so much, David.
Let me shake your hand before you go.
David, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you. I love the CWA. I was a CWA member for 16 years. I love you guys.
And Ken,
Thank
too.
you.
Ken was CWA.
Ken was a nurse. I don't know about that. I don't know. You better check his credentials. A nurse in the CWA? I never heard of such a thing.
Maybe it means two things. Could be a different organization.
Compassionate Workers of America.
Yeah. I thought of 3 or 4 things that were totally unusable. No. Lefty would, but I won't.
I would definitely use whatever. Whatever works, man.
So, recap calling Assemblywoman McKnight, if you would, and she answered. Because I didn't know you were talking to her.
I didn't either. I can't believe she picked up the phone.
Okay, how long did the conversation go before you knew who you were talking to?
About 10 seconds.
Really? How did you find out it was her?
Well, you know what? I kind of got the feeling when I first heard her voice, because it was a different woman than who I met. And I said, can I speak to the Assemblywoman, please? She's like, this is the Assemblywoman. Now you Pearl Harbored me. Now you have got me this time.
Well, let me get my metaphorical ramp out so you can come on my podcast.
That's funny, Jim.
Yeah, I know. You got to cut that out and put it on the end of whatever you send her to show her that this is gonna.
You get it? You get it? You get it, Angela?
You do
it's
realize, Lefty, that the power to make this in the public domain, as opposed to just between you and her and Michelle and her and a group of people, that if you send her a snippet and say, listen, when I put this on YouTube, I can't take it down. We'd like a reason not to put this on YouTube.
It's too late.
Okay.
The bombs are in the air.
Then in that case,
like Reagan said,
plan bomb is then put it on YouTube and use that as your negotiating position. But you really want to negotiate if there's something that can be gained.
I tell you what, I will chain a wheelchair to the front of her office for only a week. Instead of the whole summer, it'll be just a week. How about that?
Yeah, a little bit of you had to rub off on me. I had to apologize to Jim, the guy that arranged it. Said those very nice words about us and about how we're turning our speakers off and get a big hand. Whenever I thanked him and apologized, I said, I'm sorry how strong arm you. Because that's what you got to do. It's what you got to do. You
strong arm them, we strong arm you. We all strong arm each other.
Yeah, but it's sort of like at that point, we definitely, that's not me. That's you. And, I don't know. I think Jim and everybody did a great job today with the speakers they got. So, they got a little more to work with us. It was nice being able to step aside for somebody that's, got these people here. It was wonderful. Very good. And it was very nice to, be acknowledged in the beginning. Because, really, serious, when did we ever do that before?
Never.
Never. So the CWA got you to do something you've never done. Well, okay, it got me to help them get you to do something you've never done. And I owe you. I told you I owe you. So be gentle when you call your marker in.
That'll be a while.
Yeah.
It'll be a while. Don't worry.
That's my MO. Philippe got promised a meeting with Assembly Minority Leader Tom Kaine a year and a half ago, or over a year ago, and he hasn't called him on it yet. It's at one point you promised a meeting. We'd like to have that now, and he said that was 2016. Yep. Didn't put a time limit on. You're here. We're here. What time and where? It's nice.
Daniel, did you go to Edward Fortune's court date yesterday? Were you there? Really? Can I ask you a question? What happened yesterday? What's going on? How you, Danny?
Basically, they just said that he's got a hearing in like a week or something.
Another week.
It's just postponing
it
further and further.
What?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's a hearing to hear if he's going to have a hearing.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. For a lay person like myself who is following this some week, he's going to have a hearing about having a hearing?
Oh, my God.
That's confusing.
It makes sense. No, it makes sense. That's
did he have a hearing to have a hearing, or is he going to have a hearing?
They've been having hearings about these hearings for a couple of weeks now.
Well, it's like 180 days. It seems like they want to drag it out, and this is just what is it now? 135 or
about
40
that,
or something?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Wow.
That's amazing. That was like when you wanted to go protest that we didn't have the right to protest.
What was your takeaway from that, Dan? Did any good feeling at all, or any hope, or nothing?
Well, the judge looks like he's open to the argument, and I kind of feel he will get released eventually, but it's not going to be like next week. I don't know.
You don't think it'll be next week?
I hope so.
Yeah.
But
they could postpone the hearing to have a hearing.
But I think he gets a hearing, he should go, because who are they protecting? you know, Ed's not a violent person. Who are they protecting?
The system.
Yeah.
The effed up system that we live in. And I heard the joint's having problems this week. Is the joint closing?
I just left there, and John doesn't even know. That's what was posted a couple of places on Facebook.
I saw that.
But John doesn't even know, so.
Oh, boy. Wow. Wow. Shocking to me. Well, Ed Fortune, you're in our thoughts and prayers, Ed. I couldn't make it yesterday. I was in extreme pain. I think maybe they expected me to be there to film, but I couldn't make it. I was just suffering. And I know it looks like I'm healthy. It looks like I feel good, but I don't. I feel like crap. I'm in a lot of pain.
Well, you look like crap, too.
Talking to that.
One of his brothers, his father, and his daughter was there.
Okay, good. Hey, Ed.
That's 3 generations.
And a doctor who testified for him in a previous trial.
Okay. How'd he look? He didn't look good last time I saw him.
Well,
He's pale.
he looked pretty good for a guy in chains.
Oh, God.
You know, they did allow him to take the chain off his right hand so he could at least move his right arm.
I am so glad he didn't use that opportunity to flip somebody off, you know. And they've just seems like they want to beat him down, you know. They want to wear him down. And I myself cannot imagine how long a time a week is in incarceration. It's got to be way longer than a week when you're the one in, much like going to a hospital.
Yep.
It just, a week, that's like forever, every second of every day. So for that many days, when really this should have been expedited, you know, justice delayed, justice denied sort of thing. And he is having his case made by these delays. I mean, pretty much said this is the way they play, this is what they'll do, and then that's what they're doing. So not a lot we can do about it. I mean, you can sport, you can go down. You know, the only way I get to sport really is because I'm a man of little means. I go down and I get something Chef John makes at the joint, and that will be at least the most minor of support for Ed, you know, that that the joint can hopefully stay open, you know, but that's in jeopardy too. So, you know, and they would like nothing more, you know, no chicken wings after 11.
I was thinking of buying a couple more books, and I said, no, he's going to be out, you know, but who knows? Maybe I'll go back on Amazon and buy him some more reading material.
Yeah, probably. You know, we should make it easier if people know how to write, too. Maybe I'll do that myself. You know, I got not much to say, but I understand it's nice getting mail, you know. So, you know, he's not forgotten, but it could feel that way, you know, when you have limited contact.
Yep.
Well, can't go on past 180 days. They got to get that show on the road eventually. And
they want to add 40 days to his sentence because while there's some point where he was not representing himself, he was representing someone else. He was representing.
They want to reset the clock at the 40th day.
They're thinking of ways to just make it worse for him. Idiots.
Yeah, it's really a pretty helpless feeling. There's not much you can do to help.
Still trying to call Mike Alonso. No luck.
Maybe they got him. They got Mike?
No luck with Mike yet.
Oh, no.
No, I'm the one they want.
They don't want you. They want you to go away.
They take me out.
They want you to go
over.
away. They don't.
I'm not going away. I'm chaining a wheelchair outside her door.
You know, listen. You ought to be able to lead off with, listen,
Dad gets it.
I've done 81 podcasts over a 3-year period for an estate house. Do you think I'm ever going away with you?
Nope.
You know. So, this was interesting.
Yeah.
I get to go back to the state police, and I guess I should do it today when we pack up, and say I'd like a permit for Thursday, the 27th, in front of that office there, and tell them I know it's going to be denied. I want to make the request, put it through the proper channels, but I'll need the denial in writing. And reason is, this isn't working for us anymore now. When the state police, for the first time in 4 years, issued 2 permits for the same place at the same time. That's the whole purpose of having a permit, to keep that from happening. Yeah, state police issued them a permit. They said they were going to show up anyway. And then, you know, so what happens is they say they're going to show up anyway. So then what the state police have to do is they have to accommodate them more for public safety concerns and manpower concerns, and basically throw us under the bus. But they know us because we've gotten that many permits for the podcast and more before the podcast, 102 times. So they know we're not going to really get heavy-handed with them, because we have this game where, you know, they owe us something now. Basically, we have negotiating power, and it could spill over into court with the ACLU, hopefully taking up the case that when the center of government moves and we don't have the constitutional right to move with them, or we're relegated back to here. Well, wait a minute. We're relegated to next to the state house where the governor isn't anymore. We don't even get the actual state house where he isn't anymore.
Here, this is the state house right here.
This is the last building, right?
Yeah, last building before Calhoun, right on the left.
The state building.
Yeah, it's got the sign of the governor's office outside.
It's empty. The building's empty. I was in there before. It's all stripped.
Yeah, they're working on it.
It's all stripped. The whole state house is stripped.
They want to make their money while they can before it gets yanked down.
It's all empty.
Yeah.
No,
oh yeah,
no.
they're
walls.
They're for real. So the state police,
ceiling.
The state police barracks where we get the permits was down there, but now it's down in the building at the end of the road. So basically, what I need to do is go back. I might wait until next week because I want to get in touch with the ACLU first, so I have at least, hopefully, an indication if they say, we don't want to deal with that. I think they might, because the reason we have a constitutional right to be in front of the State House while they were there is that's where the center of our state government is. That's where we go to redress our grievances. I don't even know what that means. We get to go bitch in front of them. We have that right constitutionally. Now, generally, the position of the head of your government, the place where it operates from, doesn't generally move all the way down a road to a whole nother area. I mean, it's down the road, but it's not right next door here. We are not close enough to where the governor's office is right now.
You could probably get a permit for in front of the cultural complex, the museum.
Yeah, but we don't have a problem with the museum. We have a problem with the governor, so we want to be in front of where he is, just like we had a right to be in front. And you know who should help us? The governor, because the last day of our last podcast before Thanksgiving last year, he said he loved us being there. He loves when people show up. He said this on camera, that when people care enough about something to show. Right. But we're also going to give him the chance and say, well, Governor, we'd like you to help us. You know, next time I'll have something for the governor's office and ask state police, could you please deliver it? And I'm going to try to tie this all together into having him help us get the right to protest him and his policies. And tell him, listen, people probably like that. You might get up to 16%, you know, approval rating. He's at 15, the lowest ever for a New Jersey governor right now, tied with Florio. He'd like the last poll to say 16%, so he's not bottom. And we're going to offer him that chance. Have you got somebody on the line?
Good morning, Honeybee.
Good morning.
Hello, Oregon. Can you hear me, Oregon?
You did wake her up again, didn't you?
What the hell? I think we're calling Mars. Hello? What the hell's going on there?
She sounds like she's been whisked away.
You don't sound good. The alien's abducting you?
She could be in a tunnel.
Are you in a tunnel? Are you in a car? Hello, Honeybee.
What did you say to me?
Are you home?
Hello?
Hi, Honeybee. I can't hear you.
Oh, I just put my headphones in.
Okay, thank you. Now that our ears are blown out. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry I didn't get back to you this morning. I've been very busy running around like a nut.
He was, Honeyb. This is Jim. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jim?
Well, I'm good. I'm not just waking up. Did we wake you?
Yeah, I hope we did. Wake and bake, Honeybee.
Yes.
Yay! Wake and bake.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Oh, yay.
It was a busy day here so far. It usually isn't, but we had the unique situation of communication workers of America in New Jersey having a rally here, where the state police said, sorry, there's already somebody with a permit there, and they said, well, we're going to go anyway. So they issued them a permit, and we shut our speakers off for an hour, which we never do.
Oh, wow.
But we did some exchange. There was a couple hundred people here. They were very vociferous. The Speaker of the Assembly spoke. An Assemblywoman who's very supportive of medical marijuana spoke to them about union issues. And we got a very good introduction from them, because we said we're not going to turn our music off if they don't, which, you know, okay, that's how it got done. But it was nice. We got some political capital today. The CWA will join us in complaining that we can't get permits to protest in front of the governor's new office down the street. And they bring a lot more power to a potential lawsuit than we do. So we've also got a partner to force the issue there. And only problem is I owe Lefty now. You know Lefty. And Lefty didn't like the idea, and he felt like, well, then they're going to have to listen to our music. And he promised me that we'd do it my way for that hour, and that I would owe him big time. So now I'm on call, and he's going to make me wait, he says. It's not going to be quick. But one day he's going to say, okay, remember that time, CWA. That's all he's going to say. I'm going to get a call. I'm going to go, hello. He's going to go, CWA. Oh, Lefty.
No, last year we had the Donald Trump, too. Remember Donald Trump last year? Yeah. The rally? We give up our podcast for them, too?
Yeah, we did, but I didn't want to tell them it was the second time. Liberties, you know. I'm sorry, I forgot. You know, you know how people can forget things like that in meeting with Russians and whatever, you know. I forgot. And there's no emails to say otherwise. Oh my God! Yes. So it was a good day, and Lefty was brilliant. Whoa! You got T-shirts that are going to blow into the water there. I'll be back in a second.
Thank you, Dan. Dan's got it. So, Honeybee, we have to get this video out to people, because once people see how Mike Alonso destroyed Angela McKnight, people are going to give him money.
Destroyed.
People are going to just be like, Michael, take my money. You are our new assemblyman. We want you. Because McKnight is an idiot.
Right?
It's just shocking to me that an assemblywoman would have no ramp for her constituents.
How long has she been in office?
Oh, since 2015, 14. She should know better. Honeybee, she's on the Health and Senior Services Committee. That is funny, isn't it? She wrote a bill.
That is funny.
It is funny. And you know what? She wrote a bill. She sponsored a bill that you can't sell semen without a license. Yeah. Angela.
Why would one want to do that?
I swear to God, Angela. Look it up. Angela McKnight sponsored a bill that you have to be licensed to sell semen. So Angela McKnight is more concerned about getting off than people getting in her office. You get it? You get it? You get it? You get it? She's more concerned with getting off than getting in. You get it? You get it? You get it?
This is funny.
If it wasn't so sad, it would be funny, but it's kind of sad.
Oh.
Can you believe it?
It's very sad.
Now, as backwards as Oregon is, do you have anything like this going on there?
No, you know, Oregon is so cool. They're all about the people.
You a bunch of hicks out there. You don't even act like this. You don't even act this way.
Oh, wait. No.
We have real jerks out here. We have real uncompassionate people here in New Jersey. And our assembly people stink. They stink. And poor Ken and Jim, they're like, we can't endorse a candidate, but we can't destroy one either. Ken's like, we don't endorse or destroy candidates on this show. But we do. We do.
Well, we can do that.
And we talk shit all day long because that was the best ambush since Pearl Harbor. It was. She didn't see us coming. She had no clue. And you know what?
You couldn't have planned that better.
No, I couldn't have. And you know what? I told some Democrats about this plan. So there were some Democrats that knew about this plan ahead of time, just like FDR knew about Pearl Harbor. There were some Democrats that knew about this. Yet Angela McKnight is so hated by other Democrats that they didn't tell her. They wanted this to happen to her. They wanted her career to end and be destroyed. Other Democrats, yeah. The Democrats hate her. And Mike Alonso, he's kind of a Democrat anyway. He's just a Republican by name. He's kind of a Democrat. Although he is pro-life. And pro-life meaning an extra choice. He wants to do the artificial womb thing. He wants to give women an additional choice to keep the baby alive after the abortion. So Michael is pro-abortion, but he also is pro-life as keeping the baby alive after the abortion. So there's technology that we have to use to keep these babies alive. You can be a Christian and be normal and think out of the box. You really can. Some of us Christians are kind of smart. Right, Danny?
Us Christians.
Huh?
Us Christians.
Us Christians. You're a Christian, Ken?
No.
What are you?
Pagan.
You're pagan? Really? What does that mean? Grab a mic. I can't hear you. What does that mean? Pagan.
Well, it's a neo-pagan actually. I just recognize all the gods that have ever been and ever will be. Though some I have more respect for than others.
Really?
Yes.
Like which ones do you like the most?
Pan, Bacchus.
Wait. Slow back up. Pan is the Buddha? No, Pan is
Pan is a god of spring.
Spring. Okay.
Fertility.
Okay.
Bacchus, the god of wine. Poseidon, the god of the sea. Many of the different gods that have been recognized and worshipped throughout human culture.
What about Jehovah?
Well, I recognize the one true God as well as all the other gods, and some of them I like I say I have some more respect for than others. Any God that would bring about a flood and kill all of his creations because he's displeased by them and not only kill his creation but his all the baby rabbits and all the baby squirrels and everything along with him. I just don't have a lot of respect for a God like that. So, but I recognize him.
Except for the 2x2 thing.
But what if you're just pulling the string on the top and letting it go and saying, okay, there goes the top and it's spinning and you let's let it go and things happen. Yeah. Everything happens. And
I got to warn you guys, you better relate this to cannabis soon because this is a cannabis podcast.
God, I need cannabis. God, I need some cannabis right now.
It's a cannabis podcast. Yeah.
I say that.
Well, the relationship to cannabis is that many of the pagan religions use cannabis as their only sacrament.
Well, I say the direct relation is
that's been used throughout history, Lefty, too, as part of these pagan religions.
God made it.
I'm sorry, and God made it. Yes,
it's His plan. You got a problem, take it up with the boss. Go right to the chase. Right. And you know what I say too. Right. Also to people who might even ponder that, I tell them I've actually prayed for guidance on this issue. Have you? Now, if they're religious, they can't say I have because it would be a lie, and they'd be lying about praying. And if they said they had. And if they had, what are they going to say? God told me it's a devil's weed or something? No, they couldn't do that because they'd be lying because, of course, that wouldn't be true. So whether or not I actually have prayed isn't really the question. Nobody said, did you really? Because the answer would be, hell no, I didn't do that.
Well, but the spiritual aspect of marijuana has been recognized really throughout cultures and throughout history. We have... one of the tragic things about the weed man situation is that he's a Rastafarian, and also the fella Tosh One, you know, he's a Rastafarian, just as his father was a Rastafarian. Tashwan came here to one of our demonstrations in 2014, I believe, 4/20/2014.
That would be Peter Tosh's son.
Yes, Peter Tosh's son, yes. And, you know, he came here, and I have some pictures of him. I met him. He's a very, very handsome guy, a very, very talented young man. And unfortunately, he was busted with 65 pounds of his sacrament in a car in North Jersey. And so he, to make a long story short, he was doing...
No, we got time.
He was doing 6 months... I don't have time. He was doing 6 months in jail, and he was beaten into a coma by another one of the prisoners in jail. And so, you know, here he is. This is the way we a country that prides itself on religious freedom and religious diversity. This is how we treat a sincere member of a Rastafarian religion. We arrest him, we destroy his sacrament, and we fail to protect him when he's in prison and subject him to just essentially death. Right now, he's in a living death.
Oh.
Tashwan. So it's most unfortunate, but that's the story.
Well, yeah, it's a cannabis story. I would have rather just been talking about what we were talking about before that.
Well, Lefty brought it up. No. I can't stay today, unfortunately. I have something else to go, so I really need to get a move on.
Well,
but we will be
holding
having
the fort down today, because we different places at different times to the unique situation.
Hey, Eric.
So we didn't really get to roll with the news.
No,
and it's certainly not for discussion now, but when I read somebody, and I think it was who posted it in the coalition about the Harvard researcher coming up with something to say that smoking cannabis does not negatively affect your cognitive function as much as it may positively affect it. And it's an interesting title. I read through it. It's certainly not proof, but it's an interesting argument to quote.
Well, it was interesting, yeah. And you know, they maintained that because cannabis can calm your anxiety and can relieve your pain, that you are able to use your executive function more precisely and more abundantly, and you'll be able to make better decisions. And
it makes perfect sense.
Right, it does make sense. And they also and they also talked about how the use of cannabis can help improve the cognition of people who suffer from bipolar disorder. So, you know, if they're...
It's interesting that it makes so many other distractions physically not so near the top that they get to use their cognitive functions without pain and discomfort and anxiety getting in the way. Not that it's totally relatable, but scientifically, guy found out that if you give cows bigger stalls, sand to lay down on where they'd be more comfortable, that they produce 15% more milk and live a year longer. Well, okay, what I'm just saying is, okay, cows apparently live longer if they're given bigger stalls where they have room to actually rest in sand. And basically, not medical marijuana, but it makes them more comfortable in the same way cannabis might make somebody with physical difficulties. And they produce 15% more milk, and they live a year longer. So I'm just saying that actually making somebody comfortable and relieving stress and anxiety physically is good. So, you know, one of many reasons why we show up here every week. And I see we have our lawn crew out. We have a lawn crew. They don't cut the lawn. They don't trim the lawn. They don't fertilize the lawn. They come sit on the lawn, hang out. Legal patients using their medicine together, sharing stories, hanging out in front of the annex. Why? Because they can. It's what I call the Stephen Kuspelich demarcation line. Stephen Kuspelich is a patient who doesn't mind testing the boundaries. And when there was some discussion of why patients couldn't smoke their legal medicine here because people smoke cigarettes here, state police told him, yeah, well, if you see somebody smoke a cigarette, let us know, and we'll come take care of it. And Stephen replied, I ain't no snitch. Stephen, if you're listening or see the rebroadcast, that's my impression of you. And sorry, it's not that good. But that is what he said. So Stephen started the conversation by lighting a joint and letting the officer find him, which works rather well. Now, the state police trooper escorted him out. He said, you have to go out to the road or across the road to use your medicine. And he walked him out there with Stephen's medicine burning, a joint in his hand. And the trooper stopped at some point before the sidewalk. And it's where there's a little bit of a break in the sidewalk, so Stephen remembered where it was, and he said that they're further away than the officer escorted him. And as far as he's concerned, that's what the officer meant was legal. Anything beyond that, he pushes the boundaries. He at least gets answers, as like Lefty does on the INE tour. Ignorance is no excuse. And I got to say, I'm partially to blame why the State Attorney General has not done his job and made it very clear to the 500 and some police departments in the state what the guidelines were. There are guidelines set forth by the State Attorney General's office on how to proceed when having a patient use their medicine, which is legal, what they need, how to proceed, where they can and where they can't. Problem is that information when sent out to police stations was used either as a doormat, perhaps folded up to keep a door open, swatting flies, bottom of a canary cage, coffee coaster, anything but looking at it, because the State Attorney General has not provided any continuing education of any type. So Lefty does that. He continues education by going to police stations, over 60 I believe now, and he shows up as a legal medical marijuana patient in New Jersey with his proper identification, his medicine in its approved container, all documentation necessary, and says, I'm in pain now. Where can I smoke my medicine without you arresting me? Why should Lefty have to go to a state police office anywhere? Multitasking, not very well, sorry. Why should he have to go to any police station to do that? It's up to the Attorney General. Basically, Lefty has the ammunition, and I haven't helped separate it into a usable form, as I will get to doing before he will, because he has so much else to do. So we will be approaching the State Attorney General's office with snippets of Lefty's work and see if he thinks that it needs attention, which it does. And my guess is that the State Attorney General will act. I think when he realizes the scope of Lefty's work over a period of, I believe it's coming up on 4 years now, because I went with Lefty to Atlantic City to do an INE tour of casinos. And that was quite interesting. And but it shouldn't have been his job to go to police stations. And in Atlantic City, we went to the police station there, and they decided that we could simply go across the street from the police station, and they would deflect any calls that would come in complaining. So that was even nice. Again, State Attorney General's job. And New Jersey, that Attorney General is not doing his job currently. It's given a little leeway. It's not his fault. He had 2 acting attorney generals and 1 confirmed attorney general before him who did not do the job when the law first went into effect. So basically, it's up to him to pick up the mess left behind by 3 attorneys general before him. Lefty's got the ammunition. We're going to get into pulling the trigger. And I just wish that we weren't such a small skeleton crew, us who do these things, but we do appreciate the support that we get from anybody, especially Garen Angel and his magical butter machine, because we have given away several of those to people whose lives have been changed by the quality of medicine they've been able to make and the many forms they've been able to make it into. So we got here now is while you got the gym show is we got man down, we got Lefty on the ground. We got, no, it's all right. It's cool.
Taking a break.
I'm setting a scenario here.
Come on, Karen. Grab a mic. Honeybee's
What's up,
on
Karen?
the line.
Been a long time. How are you?
I'm good.
Honeybee was on the line.
Honeybee.
We
Yeah.
might have put her to sleep.
Yeah, Karen's here, and she wants to say hi to you.
Honeybee, I love you.
Oh, hi, Karen.
That was
How
more
are
than
you?
hello.
I'm great. And you?
You know.
Yeah, we're balling pain here.
You average out to something between and great. That's good. That's very good. You average very good. I know. How's your pain level, Karen?
Bad. Very bad.
I assume that when you say that, pretty much with you and Lefty and other people I know, how you are is dependent on your pain level primarily. That is how you are. When somebody says, how are you? You can't separate the pain from the rest of how you are.
Right. And that's why my first instinct is to say great. Because you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not great.
Yeah.
I'm in pain. I'm
Ask me
suffering.
how I am.
How are you?
I'm doing really good, but I keep the bar set low.
Yeah.
That's my response.
Yeah,
I'm doing
that's a
good,
good one.
but I keep the bar set low. In other words, compared to my rest of my life, sometimes I'm doing good, but I don't want to give the false impression that I got some foot issues.
Yeah.
You know since the catastrophic injury.
Yeah.
So I wrestle with the same.
I'm having so many different problems. I'm suffering at home. I have no cannabis. My
No.
cannabis doctor is freaking MIA.
Really?
I just, it's
shouldn't
a mess.
shouldn't be an issue.
I'm
of
suffering.
that, I mean, when a doctor goes MIA, there should be somebody on call.
Yep. I don't know what to do. I have people helping me, but, here and there, activists, thank God people have been helping me in that way, but I can't afford my medicine. I can't afford it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I wish it was not. And I'm not minimizing what you're saying. It's just that I wish it wasn't such a common thread in people's lives that they can't afford the medicine.
It's terrible.
And
And you know what?
You're not alone there.
I went to my doctor. I'm having a problem with my spinal cord stimulator.
No.
Having a problem with my fusion. He says, I can give you something to take care of you. I said, I do not want opiates. Yep.
Lefty had to go. How about
Thank
you,
you.
Lefty? You still having to use a little help?
Let's see, how many years it's been for me. I got my card in 2013, so it's been 4 years I'm off opiates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you use a little something when you need it though?
I took a roxicodone about a week ago or 2 weeks ago for my pain, and it didn't help.
Yeah.
Really?
It didn't do shit, no.
I refuse.
Huh.
I refuse to I was in bed for 8 years and in the house for 15 years on 300 milligrams of morphine a day. I refuse to go back there, but I'm suffering. I'm suffering.
Yeah.
You know what? There is no compassion in New Jersey.
No, the
None.
compassionate
Zero.
use medical marijuana.
None,
Yeah, we should call it. How about we
none.
call it the Compassionate Use Medical Marijuana
Yeah.
Act? What do you say? Compassionate Use.
Yeah.
The CRMMA.
I'm serious. I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to give up. You
On
know,
the
it's just,
you're going to give up on the Compassionate Use Medical Marijuana.
Yeah, there's no
program?
compassion in the state.
I'm just
I
trying to
want
get
to
used to
move.
saying it.
I want to move. I'm ready to pick up and go.
Yeah,
Honeybee,
but-
here she comes.
I want to visit Honeybee.
She's
now.
coming, honey.
I want to come visit you, honey.
Yay!
Yeah, I want to come for like a week or something.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
You can
a
stay with
yes.
Yeah, I definitely want to come for like a week or something.
There you go.
I need to clear my head.
You need that.
That would do you good.
Oh, my gosh.
That would do you
Yeah.
really good.
Please.
Yeah, I might never leave, so.
No, you probably won't.
You might never leave.
Then Lefty comes out for a little bit, and I'll come out for a little bit. And next thing you
Yeah,
know,
there
we'll
we go.
have a de facto
You know,
commune.
but I have to change the subject and say that that the activists that help me and talk to me and contact me and just care is just freaking amazing.
It's a
I
it's a
have to
family.
thank everybody. Seriously. I'm serious. I mean, Lefty helped me from day one. I didn't even know him, and he was helping me. I was getting off opiates. I was going crazy. I'm texting him, oh my God, I'm going to die.
I remember those days.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a full year.
You got through it, though.
It was a full year of withdrawal. A full year. of withdrawals.
That was rough. You
That
had
was
legs.
rough.
Your legs were
I
restless.
still have the restless
Still?
legs, yeah.
Ugh.
It's never going to go away.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. It feels like a little mouse is running in my calves at night. And the doctor
I
said
can't
that's
even
from the
imagine
opiates.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have an ace bandage around my foot because that's when it got severely broken. It was wrapped up in, you know, how it would feel right under your toes.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter, barefoot, I feel that right under my toes.
Oh,
but I'll take that over a little mouse in my calf any day.
Yeah, it's terrible. 'Cause
I'm the lucky one here.
It doesn't stop. Your whole body is trying to rest, and that's what you feel, and it just like jumps, and you're like, oh my God. I don't know if it's in the brain or, you know.
Well, no, it doesn't matter if it's in the brain or not. Phantom pain is in the brain. Somebody gets an arm ripped off, they still have arm pain.
Yeah,
It's real
sure.
pain.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's the real thing. So
Mhm.
you're having a phantom pain or experience of itself.
I'll have enough pain.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't need
I
any
don't know how you can laugh about it, but you know.
I have to, because what am I going to do? What else can you do? My state doesn't care about me. My doctors want to put me on opiates. No one can fix my back. There's issue after issue after issue. What am I supposed to do? I can't afford my cannabis. What am I supposed to do? Cry? Oh my God, I'm going to go cry now.
Yes.
Yes.
You go to Oregon with Honeyb for a week.
Yes. But, you know.
That's your answer. Step one.
That's a long way. How would you get to you have a vehicle? You got a vehicle worth driving?
Can you fly there? Yeah, fly, right?
5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they
5 hours.
They got air.
Listen, they got alcohol in the
round trip.
Yeah, get nice and drunk beforehand. You'll be all right.
Have to break your no drug policy. Didn't do any drugs for 2 years till I had to fly.
You'll see me on a YouTube video. This is my medicine.
It's
I'll get
around
the
for-
whole plane high, you know. I have to take my medicine.
Well, you know, I used to. I used to do when I fly back in the day was I'd take about a half a joint with me. I'd have half before flying. Have a couple of beers at the airport, and once the plane got up to altitude, if you go into the lavatory and you push down on the plunger that would let water down into the sink, the holding tank is not pressurized, so all the air rushes down. So if you light it right above the sink, and right as you light it, you push the plunger down, all the smoke goes down. Now you leave the hand on the plunger, you hold the joint below the top level of the sink, and the smoke just disappears, and there's no smoke down under. Yeah, that was great, now, except for the part about the beer. Now, one time I had more than a couple beers, and it was a morning flight. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. I'm bragging. I'm not ashamed either. It's just how I flew. It's how I flew when I rolled. That's how I rolled when I flew. So what happened is they had a problem. There was a delay. They had a problem with the cargo door, and they announced it would take 900 revolutions of a big wheel to get it closed. And I'm not picturing this thing spinning around quick after 15 minutes of sitting there and waiting. And I drank beer. And after about a half an hour, I had to use the lavatory, and I went in, and reflex took over. I walked in, I used the lavatory, I lit the joint, I flushed the plunger down, and there was no. It was pretty quiet, and the smoke was going upward because there was no. We were on the ground. Now it's about a 4x4 room. I had two choices: have as much as I can, throw the evidence away, and it's going to stink. It's already going to stink. It's a 4x4 area. They're not even. It's about 3x3. So I opted for, okay, I'll just finish it. And it was a large plane. It had 4 or 5, maybe even 6 lavatories, doors in a row. And I decided, okay, I'm going to come back. There's probably not a lot of people using them yet. I'm just going to make sure I shut the door really quick. And to my horror, as I left, shut the door, it bounced open. And I'd taken 2 steps too late. It was out, so I ignored it. Now, I don't know if you can, you know, when you walk down a wedding aisle and you're in the wedding party, you're getting married, you know how everybody turns around in the aisle and looks at you? Yeah, the smell beat me to my seat, and everybody's turning around looking down the aisle, and I'm the only guy there. I felt like doing the wedding march thing, you know? And I've never been more paranoid in my life. I was waiting for the sir. We're going to have to ask you to leave, and it was going to ruin my day and disappoint my mom and all sorts of stuff. Nothing happened.
Wow.
You know, but I got to say, so.
You didn't get tackled or anything?
And it wasn't about politics or anything, but it was about cannabis, so I get to do that, you know.
Life experience, Jim.
Yeah, so, you know, basically now, since 9/11, you get searched so, you know.
Yeah.
One time, the first time I heard you're going to have to take your shoe off and put your foot on this thing they had. This is 10 years ago. I don't know that they do anything like that anymore. And I didn't understand. In my head, I was like, I'm glad I didn't have a half a joint in my sock there. And I said something about what would happen if somebody said no. And just somebody didn't know. No! You know, and there was like 6 people there, like.
Oh, yeah.
That was a finger snap.
Yeah, you're in the room, you're naked, you're
no,
not.
That was what was going through my head.
So
But I explained very, very quickly. No, I said, what happens if you say no? Look, shoes off, you know?
Yeah.
And what else? Nothing, please. So I haven't flown really since then, but it's because of an ear problem. But I don't have to worry about that
another thing
anymore.
you don't do in the airport, well, I don't go through.
Don't say the word crash.
I can't go through the metal detector, so I have to get searched. When they're searching, you don't go, ooh, ah. They don't like that. They don't like that. They're patting me down, and it's a female patting me down, and I'm like, ooh, honey, ooh, a little to the right. And
What'd she do?
Oh, she's like, ma'am, this is not a joking matter. And I'm
No,
like,
you're so hot though, and
Yeah,
it's a little to the left.
Well, apparently it is. I just made a joke. It's a matter.
Yeah.
Rub down here. Rub
Yeah.
this. You're so hot. Rub me.
this.
Touch me.
Well,
you're so
you know,
hot.
on one hand, she is just doing her job, and you know they don't get paid squat for doing that.
I know.
Yeah.
They really don't. I don't know what it is, but it's not a lot. A lot of responsibility. You know, maybe if they got paid more, they could take some of the jokes too, because quite frankly, that should be part of their training.
Of course.
If somebody asks me if they're going to do something personal, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, listen, I got a colonoscopy.
Ew.
Cannabis.
Jim.
And
Ew.
you know, and when the guy did the exam, I asked him if he had ever seen Parents of the Bride or whatever, Steve Martin. And it's some scene he was accidentally drugged up, and he was in a room. The guy snapped the glove, and he runs, "Do I know you?" You know. So I asked the doctor that, and the doctor said he loved that scene. So a little while later, it's quiet in his office, and you hear somebody in his room going, "Do I know you?" At that moment, yeah. Yeah.
Well, when my doctor was putting my stimulator
It wasn't with a smile, though.
my spinal cord stimulator, I was in the surgical room, the OR, and there was like 6 people in there, and mostly female, and the doctor's male, and you know, he's drawing on my back and telling me what he's doing, and he's like telling me how it's going to vibrate my legs, and I'm like, can you put it a little lower? And all the females started cracking up, and he was like, Karen, this is not a joking manner. I'm like, matter. I'm like,
yes, it is.
Well timed
listen,
laugh.
if
right?
you're going to stimulate my legs, well, you know.
Keep going. You're going to pay the price if that's paying the price.
You know,
indeed,
you know, I might get a 2-for-1 deal. I was trying, but you know, didn't work.
All right. So how much longer we have for our? As much as the conversation flows, I got to keep Lefty informed when it passes through my head. Attorney General, second letter coming up, and do I need to go somewhere to find as much of the list, 30, 40, 45 of the places you've been to, or can you send me a link to where is it all at Sativa Cross?
Yeah, sativacross.com. We can send it to him.
I mean, they are all titled Bayonne,
yes.
wherever.
You can click on any one of them.
All right, because that's all I have to do to let them know that we have video, and it's being culled from these, but really there seems to be no point putting it on YouTube to encourage him to do that if we can just simply tell him, yes, you can call any of these police stations and verify that they did not know what to do. These are the ones that didn't. And then I can go over them quickly with you, and you can say, like, you know, a quick note. Once I got them, I'll say, be like Trenton. The one who was in charge, the desk sergeant, she looked it up and found out and told me that she has 8 people on the street, and they do not know what I'm about to tell you now, that she just looked up. Then you also have police on a boardwalk from Seaside saying they just looked it up on their cell phone and explained to the Attorney General that should they have to look it up on their cell phone, or should the Attorney General offer continuing education on a brand new law, the first time ever we've legalized a Schedule I substance in the state of New Jersey. It's brand new. He damn well better make it a priority.
Jim, he looked it up on a cell phone within 2 minutes. He read the entire law in 2 minutes, he said. And he knew everything about it in 2 minutes.
Well, he can't do it in 2 minutes, then he's lying.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
He was lying.
He didn't know that the law is a lot longer than that.
50 pages.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a summary somewhere.
There is.
And then he read the summary. But the point for the Attorney General would be that he didn't know because nobody taught him. Nobody suggested and nobody mandated that there's going to be a pop quiz, people. We're out here, these are sick people, we're making their lives harder, and right now the current policy is let the courts figure it out. That's what I've heard time and time again. When somebody has something confiscated,
That's disgusting.
they can take that up in court,
I am
as if that's
definitely
a
afraid of
standard
that.
as if that's a standard course of action that patients should follow. For instance, I have medicine that I take. When I go away, I take my little pill container, and they're not identifiable, but they're obviously drugs. So if I was stopped, do you think they would take that and not give it back, and I'd have to go to court?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's the cannabis they're more concerned about. I think if I have it, oh, look, it's actually a pill container, and who would do that, and he's got the same amount need. They'd make an effort to make sure they didn't take that medicine away if they didn't have to.
I don't know.
With
It depends on what color you are, I think.
Well, that also plays
Yeah,
into it, but
it does.
I'm
It does play into it,
I'm everything that is in the best category.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
if I had to do it all over again, I couldn't complain about what life handed me as far as roadblocks like that. Every problem I've had in my life, almost every one has been because of something I did or chose to do. So life, hasn't thrown a lot of crap at me. Okay,
You're
the
such
broken
a wise man, Tim Miller.
the
You
broken
are wise.
feet thing was bad.
Yeah.
59 hospital days over four stays of 8, 10, 12, and 29 days, and the litany of things that went on and are going on. And I know what a tissue flap is. When you blow out tissue, you can't do a tissue graft. It has to have a blood supply. So it's like they say, well, basically it's like a tie thing, and you'd have to cut it and then put it up over here. An external fixation device and bone grafts and skin grafts and
amazing.
Metal in, metal out. Yeah, but that's it. And even that, guess who set the ladder up? Me. Guess who decided it was okay to do? Me. So even that was a decision that I made. It wasn't somebody made me go up the ladder. It was all me. So
I was injured on
I feel
purpose,
especially
but
you didn't do anything to have the physical pain that you do in any deserving way, and
Right.
Lefty didn't do anything to have to be laying down now. That's why I think I'm the lucky one. And I don't know, the only way I get to show it's by giving a crap about what happens to people and using the advantages I have, which unfortunately for me are that I don't have a steady job to go to, and I'm somewhat considered retired/disabled
Right.
because of the feet thing. But that allows me to be here.
Thank God you're here. We
Every
need
week.
you.
And well, for the rest of this year. But this is our last year.
This is our
And,
last year.
and I'm pragmatic. Somebody says, is there nothing that could bring you back? And I go, nothing that's going to happen. But what would bring me back would be funding for the year for Lefty's expenses and somebody to store and set up the equipment.
A roadie.
Yeah, a roadie that showed up at the time I show up. Shows
Yeah.
up before Lefty would show up.
Yeah.
And it would take a team. I'm not saying this out of it only takes me, but it would take a team. I don't have a team. Lefty is my team. I am his team. William Haney comes to help, and he can't even lift his arm up to shake hands.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
we're between our whole team, we have fully 9/10 of a whole person. We don't even have the whole person.
I know. I feel bad when I come and I can't carry
Well,
anything. You can't-
you can be on our crew. That's a prerequisite for us. You fit right into our road crew.
Yeah.
So, but if we don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Yes.
And sometimes it's become therapy for me when I hear something our governor has said or something that needs attention. If I didn't have this venue, this soapbox, once a week, however good or useful it is or isn't, I wouldn't have anything. I'd be just I'd be on Facebook with the rest of the angry people, typing words to other angry people that never make a damn bit of difference. It's a waste of time. It doesn't do anything. You know what I've never read in a thread on Facebook? Oh, I see what you mean. I never thought of it that way. It doesn't happen.
You know, I have
it's a bunch of monkeys. No offense to my monkey friends, but it's a bunch of monkeys that know how to type on a keypad, and all they're doing is.
I mean, I've been absent from the Thursdays, and you know, I've been going through a lot, and I decided to take a break from activism, and I regret doing it because
you got to recharge though. Didn't work. Wasn't a recharge.
I need it. I need that in my life. I need something. I focus way too much on what's wrong with me, with my pain, and you know, it's.
You need a diversion.
You need a diversion. Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I know when
it's an important year now, so I mean.
No, this is a big year.
It's time for me to.
This is a big year. If we were going to go out any given year, this would be the swan song. And what I like is, and I can't bring it up now, but I will be able to again, is when Governor Christie was inaugurated, coming up on 4 years ago, in January, Jim Price and I staked out the State House right outside the governor's office before state police came. There's a bench there. I'm disabled. I got a cane, you know. And I said I'm allowed to be here. And so it was us standing with pretty much state troopers and nobody else right outside the office. As the governor would come out, he'd turn right, and we'd be to his right. All the reporters were on the other side, but not even that close. We were closer than them. They were down the hallway. So after all the living governors came by, I got to talk to Brendan Byrne, Jim Florio, who else? One or two others. That was pretty cool. And then out comes two state troopers doing some sort of very precise military not a right turn, you know, like where the outside guy does a couple extra steps. And the governor's in between, and two more. It's a pomp and ceremony. I wasn't expecting that. So as the governor walked by, we have a 16-second video of me saying, no, Governor, we're not done improving our medical marijuana law, not by a long shot. Because he had said not that long before, we're done expanding our medical marijuana law. That's it, we're done. He said that December 2nd, before that January 16th or whatever it was. And that was also the same day that Sabina Rose died.
Right.
So the idea that the same day she died, he said, we're done expanding our law. I felt I owed it to the entire family and everybody to go back and say, as a matter of fact, we're not done.
Right.
And I you know, it was like a challenge.
Sure.
And the video is cool because it's really loud that I said it. And he didn't look, but he was probably not much further away than we are right now. And I said it loud. I wanted everybody to hear. And the guy that is in his security detail, the brown suit, shaved head guy, the guy we always knew when the governor's coming when we saw him on the steps. Yeah, he shot me a look, and it's pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
Jim Price is holding the camera up over my head looking
Why
down.
have I not seen this video?
Excuse me?
Why have I not seen this video? I want to see it.
I put it up periodically.
You have to put it up.
I'll put it up again, and then I have to save it somewhere. It's video that I can't get through my camera. I can get it because it's a previous Facebook post. So I know when it was because it was in January and when. I just have to go back and I'll find it again.
Yeah, that would be great.
It's really good, but to me it's also important now that we are here now podcasting in our third year and had protests without podcast the year before, so that we started basically half a year after that. I was going to town hall meetings, dogging him there along with Jim Price. And when he stopped doing town hall meetings is when Jenny started doing this. So it hasn't led up, but since I challenged him leaving that day, we've done everything we can. We've showed up here all these times, and the last time he saw us, he politically expediently complimented us, saying, "I love you guys. I love that you show up here. I love when people care enough about something to show, you know, and all that."
Well, I have to say,
So
you guys,
he
I mean,
must love us a lot now.
yeah, I watched your videos from home. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any. I knew you, but I didn't know you. Like I knew you guys on Facebook, and when I went off on my opiates and decided I'm taking my life back, I came to a Thursday. This was the first thing I did, was come to a Thursday. And I met everybody. Do you remember that, Lefty? That was the first thing I did.
He's nodding his head yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
He remembers.
He's laying prone, arms out,
I was like,
on a crucifix, one leg crossed over another, head on a concrete pillow.
I'm the crazy woman I talked to you online.
You'd have to be more specific than that. That would narrow it down to 100. And it's only because you said women, it'd be 200 if
All
you
right,
said
I'll
person.
say redhead.
No, okay.
I'm the crazy redhead.
There's a little more specific, but
That's funny.
yeah. And then look at the people you're talking to. You'd have to qualify what you mean by crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause,
true.
you know,
Right?
I'd say if you pretty much line up the things all of us have done or been involved in end to end. Some would call it crazy, but in the governor's case, as that day walking out, we were there waiting on him, and we've been there every step of the way. So he actually, I can understand that he probably really does admire our tenacity. He has to. I admire tenacity of people that are some probably evil people that their tenacity is impressive. If you can separate that.
Absolutely.
And I remember that basically, and I'm not talking about this guy's evil, he's just misplaced priorities. Years back, he was at my post office as I rode by, and he had 2 cardboard boxes with something over them and a picture of Obama Hitler, a morph with the mustache.
Right.
And whatever it was he was protesting. And I admired his tenacity. It was Saturday morning. There were 2 police cars watching him. That meant that he did have the right to be there, which he does at the post office. If you're not in people's way and you're not snagging people going by, they want to talk to you, they stop. That's the rules. And he was there and I wasn't. And I was going to do something fun. And in my head, I asked myself, okay, if he wasn't here, would you be going to the beach because you're 6 miles away? Or would you be coming out here on a Saturday to put up a medical marijuana thing? And I thought, I've only done that once at a post office. He's displaying more of the courage of his convictions than I am. I obviously didn't agree with him. He's probably not a nice person.
Yes.
But
obviously.
he had more tenacity than me. And maybe the governor does appreciate that about this.
Yeah,
even on the days we don't have such a good day, and some are really good days. Today was one of the more really good ones, I thought. Eventually it's over, and this is our 82nd podcast. The number's getting bigger. We'll reach 100 on the Thursday before Thanksgiving.
Wonderful.
And I guess we'll do an encore now and then when it calls for it. I'll be available for that.
I'll make a turkey.
Yeah. Well,
I say we make turkey Thanksgiving then. On the 100th podcast.
Yeah.
You'll have to bring a turkey.
that would be kind of cool.
There you go.
We never had a turkey. We did have
And you know what? We could put
we did have
Governor
a free
Christie's
food.
face on the turkey.
No,
I'm
we want
sorry.
people. We want people to
wanna
like
eat
that
it.
turkey. Yeah, don't throw stones at it. Not roll a jelly donut by it. I just think that what we also do it would be fun because we've done this before. Only we had pizza.
Yeah.
We get
pizza
we
was good.
we get our little bit of a slice of food. Once we've all had a little bit of something, we put up the
Yep.
free food sign.
Yep,
Anybody
that's
walking by
awesome.
want turkey? Anybody walking by want pizza? Anybody walking by? And how many people didn't understand complimentary meant free? I
Right.
think I might have had to even put free.
Free, yeah.
You know, like, and
People are not used to
when
gift.
you know when I know we did the right thing that day. Guy came by, thanked me, and came and got a piece of pizza, and he said, "Do you mind if I bring this
I
home for
remember.
later?" And I told him I would mind if you brought it home later if you don't have one to eat here. Are you hungry now? And he went, "Yeah, but I'm going to be more hungry later."
Yeah, I
And I
remember
said, "Well,
that.
you
That
have one
broke
and
my
take
heart.
one." That's what we do.
Yeah.
We want to, you know, it's not about
Yeah,
cannabis. at
I
that
remember
moment.
that clearly. It
I'm
impacted
glad, I'm
me.
glad you
yeah.
do. You know,
Yeah, sure.
Because it affected me too. It's that he was so polite.
Yes.
And you know.
I got
Yeah.
goosies.
Well, that's what I want to do again.
Yeah.
You know. And of course, Jason Arnold working on doing something at Mill Hill Park. Hopefully.
We have 3% left on our power here.
Okay, then it's time.
Time to go.
So I want to thank our sponsors, especially cmmnj.org. The reason why Karen can sit over there and smoke cannabis on the grass is because of CMMNJ.org.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll take that. Thank you.
SativaCross.com.
Thank you.
That's I'm also going to add Team Alonzo to this. Team Alonzo.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see incredible potential here.
Yeah,
I may
I'm
offer
liking this too.
I may offer my assistance as well if I don't get called. No, you want me to help?
There you
call
go.
on
That's
your
it.
marker.
That's cool. I'm calling in my marker right now. Right
We
now.
need you to help.
I need Jim Miller on my.
When?
We always need Jim
Right now,
Miller.
starting now.
Yeah, but I asked you for an hour or something. You're asking me for like
We need you,
permanent
Jim.
involvement.
Yes.
I will help.
Summer, for the summer.
To a
Many
degree, when I
hours,
can,
many
I will. The more notice you give me, the better.
Okay.
We always
Honeybee,
need Jim.
Honeybee, let's add Jim to our
He's talked
group.
me into it, Honeybee.
Our management team.
We need Jim.
We
Yeah,
need Jim.
I'm
We
going.
need
I'm
Jim.
going to.
We need Jim.
And now, I'll have to. Maybe I'll have a hat made with a coalition brim on one side, and a Team Alonzo on the other side.
And we
So-
need Jim.
No. But basically, the thing is, when I represent the coalition, I cannot endorse a candidate. Are you following me?
Right. I love this.
So I have to have, and I will let them know. I'll say this. I'm wearing and I'll turn it around. It'll be Team Alonzo. Well, we got ourselves 3% power here. You made it.
How
You
are
made
you?
it.
How much time we got left?
We're just
We're
ready
just
to
done.
sign
Yeah,
off
come on,
now.
grab a mic.
yeah.
Here you go. Here.
Hey, Karen. Oh, look, Ronnie.
Well, then,
Hey, how are you?
well,
What's going on, buddy? How are you? I met you before. Yeah.
So what's happening, folks?
Hey, Leo Bridgewater in the house.
Hey.
What's new?
Hey.
You should be good.
Hey. Ronnie, you want to sit down? Sit down.
Yeah, how long we got? About a few minutes? What's up?
We have 3% left on our.
What does that translate to?
I don't know, not much.
All right, so what's going on?
Leo? As we're going through our list, just chime in whenever you want. I'm just going through our list of magicalbutter.com, Happy Daddy Products, NewJerseyWeedman.com.
Oh, our sponsors.
Yeah.
We got to handle that.
Weedman. What about the Weedman? Any news on the Weedman?
I have not heard anything. You know, I've been watching, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
But today, my number one guy right here, Ronnie Soto, came into town. We sat down. We were just talking about the things that we're going to be doing in terms of having the town hall meeting on August 12th. And
Nutshell version. What's it about?
It's a town hall about S3195.
Which is?
I know. Okay, yes. So this is the bill to go for the consumption and regulation of cannabis for persons over 21.
Legalization of
the legalization,
social use
so
for
we can go
adults.
recreational.
Yeah.
And so it's time to start empowering the people in the community because this is an industry. Well, Trenton is the womb of the New Jersey cannabis industry, and this building is the birth canal.
Yeah, I'm a little too close to the canal. I don't want to. I don't want to know what the fountain is. Okay.
It's true, but this should be the thing, and when it's born, this will always be the umbilical
and your
cord.
goal.
Yeah,
The end goal.
The end goal is
now we're doing the quick version even for that.
Yeah, and then we're going to be empowering people in the community, letting them know exactly what they need to do, because you don't actually have to have a license to be a entrepreneur or a business person in this industry. And to be honest, with all
that
the
will be according to the law.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's important. People know.
Yes, it's important that folks know that we have language in that
Who do we
law.
expect to get left out of the process if we don't operate here? There's a certain.
Well,
subset of
historically,
people
it would
that-
be black and brown people
Yes,
and women.
the people the drug war has affected mostly in a disproportionate rate.
David versus autism. Sorry, David versus autism.org. Sorry, Blue
Gotta
Planet
do it.
Biotech, Brun, New Jersey, Medical-Freedom.com, Canasense, New Jersey, Grannies for Grass, Tuffy's Fight, Legalized for Lorelei, JacksonStorms.com, Prayers for Sarah, Prayers for Pete, Jenny's Purple Ribbon Journey, Jenny's Journey, Women's Veterans Collective, and Weed for Warriors. We're down to 2%.
Okay, and real quick, on July 22nd, we are also having another event, more important. Hold on, let me let you talk to Ronnie Soto.
Yeah, what's up on July 22nd, Ron?
How you guys doing?
Hey, Ronnie, what's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up? This is awesome to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
What we're doing in line with what Leo was saying is on July 22nd, we're having a medical marijuana education event that's going to be conducted in all Spanish for the communities
Yes.
in that area.
Great.
I'm a Hoboken boy, born and raised. The old Hoboken, not the new Hoboken.
The Frank Sinatra Hoboken.
Yes, Frank Sinatra, Maxwell House Factory, all that. And
Did you see what we did to Angela McKnight the other day? Watch my video. Angela McKnight, she's your representative in Jersey City.
Yeah.
We destroyed her. Just saying. Check it out.
So July 22nd.
I'm in. So I'm actually moving. I moved out of Hudson County and moving back into Hudson County. But what we're trying to do is we want to work with the local officials to help educate the community, because we have roughly 1.8 million Latinos in New Jersey, and we only have 10,000 or 12,000 people that are patients of medical marijuana in this state, but we're arresting 25,000 people a year. So why aren't we figuring out how to put those 25,000 people into that program so they don't get caught in the system?
Guess what? Mike Alonso is Latino, and he's a Republican running in the 31st District. And he's going to win.
I saw that. He's based out of Bayonne.
Yeah.
So our intention is we want to work with the city officials. We want to work with the community and educate them so they know what the option is. They don't have to become medical marijuana patients. They don't have to be a part of the cannabis industry. However, they have the right to understand what's happening right before them. And we are...
Well, that's the opportunity. It's not opportunity if you don't know where it is and what it's about.
I compare it to, I always say this, and I don't have my data 100% right, but I'm pretty sure when the computer came out, we didn't get that option to touch a computer for a very long time. I mean, it was maybe around 10 or 15 years before we can get on a computer and actually learn how to use a computer. And that puts us at a disadvantage, because you see how we're underrepresented in the technology field. So what's happening is we're allowing that to happen in the cannabis industry. The people who have been persecuted the most are not getting the opportunity to partake because they don't know what is going on. They have no idea what's happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to educate the community. We want to educate the city officials, because they need to be clear on what they're going to do when this becomes a recreational industry.
I have a question.
Sure.
My Spanish isn't great.
Okay.
It's worse than un poco. You know, but how will there be translation into English, which is an odd sort of thing, because now I know how it feels when there's not translation into a language where people need to hear it.
For this particular event, we're not going to have translation in English, but we will strategically sit you next to folks.
Yeah.
My mother will be in the building.
Yeah.
She can sit right next to you and translate it for you. She can let you know what's happening. But I think the greater point in having the event is that, number one of the areas we're failing is that we're not working together.
I gotta be there. I gotta see this.
We're not working together.
I gotta see
So
this.
even if you do not know Spanish, the fact that you're there and you're supporting it, and it's a show of force at this point.
That's why I gotta be there.
Yeah, everyone in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, if you don't know Spanish, it's irrelevant. You should be there because it's a show of force to the community.
So it's cool if I wear my Coalition for Medical Marijuana
You
shirt.
better.
Yeah, I will.
You better bring that.
No,
Yeah,
that's
so
what I wear my my anti-drug shirt because that's so pertinent to the opioid crisis, and we're talking about that a lot.
Yeah, and what's beautiful is that Ronnie is exactly the type of person that just by virtue of you being there, he can put you next to somebody whom you can further.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's what coalescing is all about.
Yeah, and you know, like, to be honest with you guys, you know, like you guys were there from beginning to where I am now. You know, Karen, you remember all the stuff we done went through. And all the things, you know, the situations with Governor Christie and stuff like that.
And now July 22nd?
And it's led me to people like Ronnie in July 22nd.
Okay, let's not talk in terms of 22nd. I'll miss it. Today is the 13th?
Yes. And
so when's the 22nd? A week from when?
A week from Saturday.
Okay.
So it would be Saturday.
And
next
time,
Saturday, July 22nd.
What time? Where?
From 2 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Okay. And
it's at the Sheridan in Weehawken on Lincoln Harbor.
Okay.
So we will be there. We will have representatives from.
Hey, Reed. Hey, Reed.
Shout out to the original author of our original marijuana law.
There you go.
Reed, say hi to your mom for me.
You see how it happens? That's crazy.
Yo, his
that's
mom
awesome.
is off the hook, man.
He's been one of our longest and best supporters of all time.
Yes.
We would not be
It's a
here
friend.
today without Reed Gusiora.
Yes.
I am going to get Mike Alonso at that meeting.
That
If
would
he's
be
your next
beautiful.
assemblyman, I'll have him at that meeting. With
Okay,
you.
yeah, July
He'll be there.
22nd. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so
Absolutely.
if you want any other information, you can go to two locations. You could either go to the website that not the website, but the organization that is helping bring in all the resources is the Cannabis Cultural Association.
Cannabis Cultural Association.
They're led by two fantastic individuals, young men that I wish I had that much foresight. Nelson Guerrero and Jake Plowden. They're and they have a nice.
I've been over backwards for them like you guys.
I look forward to meeting them.
They're great.
And then
they're great.
And then I Deserve Canna, which is a Facebook group where we disseminate information and share information, is going to be involved. And then Rebel Minded Media
Lefty, you're nodding
is
your head.
going to be covering the event. Rebel Minded Media is going to be covering that event, and where if
this is huge. You know, it's sort of like underrepresentation to be taken care of at this level is very impressive, I got to say. And it's going to get some pretty good media play.
Well, there's a whole segment that you guys it's time for me to marry. There's a whole segment of the population that didn't know was available.
What is that? That's a good. And to be on the other side, because I've helped people understand what we're saying. I'm really going to gain a lot of insight into what that's like, and like you were saying, I look forward to meeting.
Well, there's strength in numbers.
and
There's strength in numbers.
We're all going to recognize one word: marijuana, marijuana. However you pronounce it, it's I mean, that's the common word that's connecting us. Although it's the inappropriate word.
Let me ask you how you feel as a Latino. That marijuana was a term given to cannabis to scare people because it was the Mexican invasion people were being scared about. It wasn't originally people of color that were, using jazz to lure white women into. It was long before that. And I find that offensive. As a non-Latino, I find that offensive. And it's not really an offensive word anymore, and it wasn't an offensive word then. It was made offensive by non-Latino, non-people of color trying to scare people about marijuana. So, you mention that for me.
How do you feel about it?
When somebody's talking.
From my vantage point, at this point, I don't care what we call it, as long as we make it legal. And I don't get offended because
It's not an offensive word.
It's not an offensive
word.
word.
It wasn't then. It was made offensive by somebody who had no right to do that.
See, like, I don't like to get that's one of the things is we have to realize that the apparatus that we're against, they're the best marketers that you'll ever meet in the world.
Agreed.
So they'll get you tied up in these conversations. It's marijuana, it's cannabis, it's pot, it's weed. You know what? Call it whatever you want at this point. Let's join forces and make it legitimate so we can get everyone what they need.
You're right, man.
As soon as
I
possible.
I think he's the guy.
I told you, it's really just how do we get? What's the fastest way? The least path of resistance. The path of least resistance. And we need to be all. We all need to be under a banner.
I agree. I tell people somewhat the same thing when it's like, I don't see why I can't grow a plant. I'm like, okay, that's what they want us to be saying right now because we're not getting anywhere with that.
As long as we're saying that, we're not moving forward.
We're not exactly, and that's lateral, and lateral don't get you down the field. So I agree with the north-south. And
I want to just be 100% clear. I think home grow should be something that is available. However, if we can't get that done right now, we should get it at least on. We should get to a point where it's legal recreationally. We're protecting the medical patients because I'm a patient. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm not doing this to make money. But sometimes we have to all take a little step back and push this forward and then get the next thing done and get the next thing done.
Compromise for now.
I mean, and if we're 2 or 3 years away from doing this, let's blow it out the water, join forces, and then after that, everyone gets what they want. Now we couldn't get that the first time. Now we're going to fight together to get this.
Well, we have like I said, we have the perfect tool, which is expand the Kuma laws. That way, if you expand the Kuma laws to allow for home grow, then you're specifically targeting the medical marijuana patients. That and at the same time, protecting the best interests of the industry. You see what I'm saying? There's that you're making that clear distinction. You know what I'm saying? Just okay, if we'll stop arguing about home grow so long as we know we do have another tool, which is the Kuma laws.
Well, the thing is, it's what we say. We can put up a good argument in front why we believe this should be, and they're going to end up knowing that we're going to support you anyway. It was the same thing with medical. It got yanked, and we had to decide, okay, half loaf, it was a slice. And we're fighting now. Now we got our half loaf back. It took 6 more years. But what we did is we got a certain number of patients off the battlefield right away. Legalizing it, even without home grow, and I fully support home grow, making it legal gets everybody off that legal battlefield.
And I think another
right then,
point,
whether you can't afford it, you can.
Yeah.
That's an issue, and it's wrong. You should. However, I don't want to shoot myself and but lose my nose to spite my face. What the hell is that old saying? It's stupid. That's why I don't remember it. Wouldn't want to, cut off my nose to spite my face. That's it.
We need to be very aware of the people who want, for example, home grow, so we can make sure they play a major part in what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Because if we can't get it done now, we should still have all the infrastructure in place to make sure that when we have the opportunity, it gets done in the snap of a finger instead of 3 years later.
Well, legislatively speaking, if the state legislators realize that there is money in it for New Jersey, and they can reach the 300 million figure they batter about, even with home grow. If they know that, I ask people, home grow, what would you pay as a fee? Would you, well, you don't want a high fee or it becomes, but the point is there's ways for them, New Jersey, to realize revenue even with home grow of some sort. It's being done in other states, and if it ends up going up to being in a bill set up and it doesn't involve.
Then those same who fought for this first version of stay in the game, next part of it. That's how you have to do it. Okay, we got what we want, let's drop off.
This is what we're doing on the medical level of this. This is exactly what we're doing here. We're coming here every week to keep our friends straight and understand that if something's not getting done, it's them not doing it, not us. We can't do it. We're not legislators, but we can bring to them why. And we can make it public why. That's why we show up here. They know we're here. They know that it doesn't matter if we don't have the crowd. They know it doesn't matter if we don't have a huge viewing audience. We get snippets up on YouTube, and we can make something go viral, and that's just the same as if the crowd was here as far as, making headway goes.
And I just want to mention this. If you just put this in a bigger context and think about New Jersey and the entire East Coast. So, we do a lot of building. We're building a lot of great relationships and partnerships in New York City. And I tell the people in New York City, New Jersey's first. That's just how it's going to happen. And the quicker you realize that and start thinking about how I could step into New Jersey, the quicker your state is going to feel the pressure of you leaving. Because first of all, the way they have it structured is you have to be a resident for 2 years of New Jersey. So I tell everybody, if you want to get into the cannabis industry here, you need to move to New Jersey right now. Because if you have a business, and New York has a lot of ancillary businesses that are going to come into the market.
That'll happen here too.
And that'll help here. And so it's like, if you come now, and then in 2 or 3 years it's already situated, New York is going to feel the fact that you left. They're going to feel that all this tax revenue is getting put into New Jersey. And then it's going to put pressure on New Jersey. Then on New York.
New York, yeah. Then
Philadelphia, then Delaware, because we're surrounded by all these states.
Yeah.
And we're in the center of it.
And a lot of times, I don't mean to say that they don't have altruistic motives in addition, but Mark Cohen, assemblyman in Pennsylvania, attended a coalition meeting like a dozen years ago, and we went out to lunch afterwards, and he said, I got to be blunt. I've got to put it in money issues. When somebody that cares about money, I need to sway an assemblyman. What can I give him? What can we? And he was just being pragmatic, and I will always appreciate that. That's we didn't get bogged down in whether that should be the issue or shouldn't be. We like you were saying, we moved right by that into giving him what he needed. We need to be able to do the same thing here. And you mentioned ancillary business. If we had home grow here, many, if not most people, would like to grow indoors. That's a whole nother business. That's so much more business. That's business right down to somebody making a once-a-week house call to check on the pH levels and the nitrogen content, whatever. It's all that. So New Jersey makes money. They get more ratables, more businesses they can tax.
And we're in a very unique position because we can control the narrative and how this is formed instead of letting big companies come in and just making us customers.
Which is what they're going to try to do, but this is why this is good that, and Jason's working on something pretty much with the similar prospects in mind in Trenton, coming up a little later on this summer, giving people whom the drug laws have disproportionately affected negatively to know where the front door is and how to get their foot in it. You can't make a person do anything, but I love the efforts I'm seeing in the advance work, because we're not getting started when the law gets passed. That's when the rush is, and that's when people are going to know, have to know what you have to tell them. And on the 22nd, a week from Saturday, at 2 o'clock, in the Sheraton in Weehawken. I'm just saying that's one so other people can hear it and so that I remember it, because once I say it, I'll remember it. And, ooh.
Well, I just want to say one more thing before we shoot out of here. Again, if you want to get into the cannabis industry right now, you have to start today, like you said. We're 2-3 years away. You need to come to New Jersey right now. You need to start joining forces with people in New Jersey to figure out the best way to do this. Yeah. And it needs to start, the way we've done it in New York is we've grown internally. We've created this group of professional people who know exactly what to do, and those people are going to be formulating the way this industry works. If we do not do that, it will come in 2 years and we will either become employees or we will just be buying cannabis.
I gotta say, and this is like important if I'm going to get there, that also happened to be the day my better half rented a beach thing down in Cape May on the 22nd. So the 22nd, I've got to go be in Cape May, and it was like a one-car thing. So, Kathy, if you're watching the replay of this, I'd really like to work something out where we could have one extra car there somewhere. It'll be a little extra effort, but I don't think I'm going to be able to be in the initial rush, although I'm there on the first day, straight from Weehawken, I promise. Some serious stuff, man. This is like my bad, but this I think is that important. Is más importante.
Yeah, it's
más importante.
This is our and it's our responsibility. It is. I'll be honest with you. It's a responsibility as advocates. You know, it is our responsibility that we do take our rightful place at the table, the industry table, so that we're not phased out. We're not that underrepresented demographic like all these other states are. We actually take the lead on what the cannabis industry should look like, following New Jersey on. You know,
we can be a good example one time because we were the bad example when we passed our law. No home grow, no pain. And then look what happened. The dominoes fell behind us.
We go from the butter jokes to the lead.
Yeah, so we owe it to karma itself to make good on that and do a little better with this. Can't believe I did. I can't believe that the 22nd was ringing a bell in my head the whole time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you did, don't plan anything for the 22nd. I won't.
Look, we got more stops to make because I only have.
Ron,
where you going?
We're actually going to go we got another meeting. We're going to do looking at some properties and stuff.
Stuff going on.
Yeah. All right, guys. All right, see you guys on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leo Bridgewater.
And thank you for your understanding, Kathy, helping me get there.
Jason Arnold's here. I think Jason may finish the show with this, but we're on our list right now. We're going to begin the list.
Yeah. Let's do the list, and if we still got time, have Jason tell us.
Jason can jump in. Come on. I mean, our list needs to be broken up because this list makes me really, I get very emotional. All kinds of emotions go on because I remember Cheryl, and I can't imagine.
I get emotional. Oh.
Yeah, it's painful, man.
Not easy.
We do it to ourselves.
Yeah, we torture ourselves.
But we do that in honor.
We torture ourselves.
In honor and memory, both of those who would have loved to be here.
Yeah, they appreciate this. Believe me. If I was dead, I'd be more than happy that you guys remembered me.
It's hard to put that in context, but good.
No, seriously. I mean, I don't think it's a
I
bad
know what
thing.
you mean.
It's not a bad thing.
No, I know what you mean.
It's hurtful, but it's not bad.
We don't come here for fun. We come here because we have to. We come here because it's a moral imperative, and we feel it, and we dig the knife deeper each time we do this.
You always have a new story about Cheryl.
You realize that... we're done?
No.
That if I've cried 4 times in the past 4 years, twice have been doing this. You know, it gets to me, you know. And that includes my mom dying, so, you know, it's up there.
Last week you talked about some audio you had of Cheryl in pain.
Yeah.
I
don't have it today.
Are we, well...
I can get a hold of it, though. I know where it is.
That's, yeah.
It's in a suitcase I don't go into. Everything in one suitcase.
Do you have a bunch of stuff like in a
Yeah.
room that you just don't
Yeah,
touch?
no, in a suitcase. I got the shirt that Cheryl was wearing when we met because I remembered it.
Really?
Just because I can. I don't take it out and I don't cry over it. It's just sort of like didn't want to throw that away.
What shirt was it?
It was a plaid short sleeve button down shirt. You know, untucked sort of thing, short sleeve.
Where'd you meet her?
Oklahoma City. Actually, no, Norman, Oklahoma. Yeah.
You were in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
What were you doing in Oklahoma?
Hiding out.
Seriously?
Yeah. No, not from the law. Hiding out from bad relationship, getting away from things. And Oklahoma was a place where people were friendly, and I knew somebody there. And I was on my way to California.
Really?
I got a job for 2 weeks, so I had a little more money, and didn't leave for 3 years.
So how'd you wind up meeting Cheryl?
I went to a gun show with a friend of mine. Didn't care about guns, seemed like something to do. It was at the fairgrounds. There was also a group there having a carnival fair-like thing. It was called Positively Single.
Right.
Anybody could go. It sounded interesting. Turns out there was Cheryl in her wheelchair. She was being sponsored by this group. All proceeds of this action they were having, which had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in the main venue inside the fairgrounds. So as we were leaving from the gun show, a car drove up in this massive parking lot and said, is this where the Positively Single fair is? I said, no, that was the gun show over there. I guess that's in there. And I asked what it was, and we had time. We went. I was single. Randy wasn't. You know, so, hey, I'm single. And, yeah, there she was, and I kind of snuck up behind her to within 3 or 4 feet where she couldn't turn around and see me because in a wheelchair, and she's beautiful. You know, it's like, wow. I'm like, it's too much. And I left, you know. And then I heard somebody say, why don't you be in the contest? And I looked, and it was her. She was 45 degrees behind me. It's like, oh, what the hell? And what happened was I said, what contest? And she said the cutest tush contest. They were a big circle of people, and there was hooting and hollering going on. Yeah, right, yeah. So she says that to me, but here in real time is how the conversation went. Why don't you enter the contest? What contest? Over there, the cutest tush contest. What are you, blind as well? I don't have much of a tush. What are you, blind as well?
Oh my God.
To a woman in a wheelchair.
You said that to Cheryl?
I said that. I heard it. It was hanging there. I couldn't put it back in. It was hanging there. It was like I was horrified.
Why would you
and
say
then
that?
Then I saw that look. You might see a picture of Cheryl, old days, a red shirt, looking to the side with a look on her face. That was that look, and the way I got that picture, it wasn't from there. It was less than a year later, and we were at a campground, and I wanted a picture. I got this close on to you, and I went, and she turned and saw me, and as I snapped the picture, it was that, oh, Jim, look, you know. And that was the look I saw the first time I said that. What are you, blind as well? I don't have much of a tush.
Oh, my God.
Anyway,
wow, you're a real asshole, Jim. Just saying.
Yeah, I know it. You know, I don't. What can I say? You know, you can't put words back. I was winging it. My internal voice was going, good for you. You're doing good. You're doing... My God, what did you just say? You know, it was like yelling at me. And,
oh, my God.
And I got saved. You know, it could have been done otherwise.
Wow. Wow.
So,
now, Jim, were you an activist before you met Cheryl? Did you do any?
No.
Nothing.
No.
You didn't give.
No. Well, I say no, but I was in my own way. I took part. I didn't get pushed around.
What were you into back before Cheryl?
Okay, maybe you go and I wasn't an activist, but I did meet. It was Cheryl, but it wasn't about anything other than I needed to get an air conditioner, and we were in a very small room with a 7-foot ceiling, and I bought an air conditioner, and it didn't cool that room down. So I took it back, and I said, this air conditioner doesn't cool the room down. I wanted a different one, or my money back, or something. And the guy went, well, we can hook up alligator clips to it. Look, it reads cool. And I don't care. Put your hand in front of it, because that's not how we determine if it's cool. I'd had enough. I said, well, let me go out and look at some other air conditioners. And we went out on the floor, and I started speaking very loudly. Do you think this one will cool that 9 by 11 foot room with a 7-foot ceiling that this one here wouldn't cool? And by the way, why can't I have the conversation out on the floor? And they gave me my money back with a smile, you know. See, that was activism. You know, I took it to where they didn't want it discussed.
Justice.
What are we doing right now? We're discussing this where people might rather we aren't, and we're here.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That make sense?
Nothing makes sense, Jim, but you sometimes do.
Every now and then. Oh, man. So my commitment to this, I got to say, not being there when everybody else opens up the beach house and bringing the extra car that nobody wanted. We'll have to work around it, because I got to tell you, this is really big, and I need to be there. So I'm using up homebound capital, you know. I did all sorts of nice stuff. I had a few days where I didn't have other stuff to do. I did a lot of hot yard work on making the place look great, and now I'm going to use up all that capital to try to do 2 things on Saturday. To try to do it all. I want it all, Lefty. I want it all.
I want it all too.
And I want it now.
Sabina Rose wishes she could have had it all.
So do her parents.
She died waiting. Unnecessarily suffering, unnecessarily dying.
It's happening in households we know nothing about right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Within 5 miles of here, drug radius around it, there's people crying out in pain and family members that are helpless. It's going on now. Thank God we don't know who they are, because I can barely handle the ones I do know. I mean, the amount of misery compounded. And then, of course, the people that are no longer with us. And when you get to Diane Ripatella, there's Widower Joe, you know, father, other people. For every person on this list, the misery spreads out and remains.
Gracie. Cindy May. Marie died from cancer in Pennsylvania. Little Jack died in Colorado. Joan Ford, William's mom. Randy Robertson, terrific activist from Pennsylvania. Chad died from brain cancer. Jeremy was victimized by the system and killed by the system. There's no other way to describe this, what happened to Jeremy. The system failed him. Colette is Jeff's mom. She died from MS. And yeah, you do die from MS. You die from complications. Really bad ones. Matt, Troy, Russ Perry, Jay Orletto, Roger Barber,
That one hurts.
That hurts.
Well,
That hurts.
You ever notice
It hurts.
a different one hurts each week sometimes? One just, for some reason, reminds you of one small little thing, a smile, a look, and that's all it takes?
I miss Roger. I really miss a lot of people. I miss everyone on this list because I knew most of these people. But Roger is special.
We haven't fulfilled our promise to his widow Laura either. We're letting her down.
I tried today. I went up there and no Christie today. But we need to do more than that.
We do.
don't know. Well, Honeybee.
Yeah.
Michael Dillon's on this list, and I'm sorry.
Me too.
And
that's a hard one.
For anybody watching who might not know these people, yeah, we're not actors here. We're feeling like shit right now. So you can take your cue from us, that you watch us. And if you watched at all today, you know this is not how we are. It's not how we choose to be. But we will acknowledge those unfortunates who didn't have enough time every week. This is, of course, leading up to the Ode to Remembrance written in honor of World War I veterans recited in 4 countries, England, New Zealand, Australia, not England, Australia, Canada, and the United States, slightly differently. But we have one stanza engraved over the door of the War Memorial, and we recite that whole stanza. I believe it's the, I don't know which one, 4th, I'm pretty sure.
I think Honeybee knows it. Would you like to read it, Honeybee?
I would. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.